Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Realm Royale Invitational Tournament. This is our 10K this week. It's Wednesday, and of course, joining you as we take you through the ride, it's Evan Rayner and Nick Keogh, Rain Day and Pretty Hair, respectively. And how are you doing today, man?
Doing great, man. I'm ready for this one. We're doing something a little bit different today.
Yeah.
As well as, I believe, paying out the top 8 this time around.
Huge. And let's talk a little bit about the format so you guys know. We're going to change a little bit of how the rounds have been going. Actually, a little bit shorter today. So we're doing 8 rounds today instead of 10 if you've been watching. And if this is your first time, golf scoring is better. That means the lower the better. And how do you get a low score? Basically, you don't double up because you won't get any prize in your good scoring that way on your classes. But the more kills you get, the more negative points you get as well.
That's right. We give you points based on your placement, but that's not a good thing. You want to shave those points away with eliminations. 8 rounds of play, lowest score after 8 rounds win. We're paying out the top 8. A little bit different today.
Yeah, and I think that's going to open up a lot of more drama, more just entertainment, because really you're playing for prizing first, second, and third. It's only so many people who can jump.
Right.
But nearly the entire lobby is in the position to jump to 8th. I mean, if they have a bad game. So we're going to be in a great spot, I think, to see some more of your streamers or the people that you're watching and rooting for having a chance to get into the money today. And if you want to play and get your skills up, hone, maybe join us one of these tournaments, go ahead and download Realm Royale for free on Steam right now. And if you want to download the PTS, you can go ahead and download that as well. It is on the Realm Royale homepage. You'll see it right above the play game. And notice that free to play? Yeah, you don't have to pay a thing.
Boy, that's the best price. Now
that's the best price.
We're paying out more people, and it's still free.
That's beautiful.
We're still not charging?
Yeah, it's and if you're curious how that happened, we just took a little bit off of first, second, and I don't know if we changed third too much. We might have changed it a little bit and then added that to 4th and 8th. But I'm really excited about that. And then the 8 rounds as well.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be – how do you think this is going to affect the
I think it's a really good thing for the tournament. The 20-point – I'm a huge fan of the 20-point cap as well, because the reason that I think those rules are in place is we saw some people getting discouraged, right?
Yeah.
You have a couple of bad rounds out the gate. You're seeing this 150-point deficit you got to make up.
It's
you
rough.
Still got 7 more rounds. Only top 3 is making money. You're just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm out today. Now we got the 20-point cap. We got 8 rounds to play. We're paying out the top 8. I think it's going to be much more competitive. I think a lot more people are going to be motivated and trying to stay in it the entire time.
Wow, and here's a duo that changed. We heard Bird and Kefri split ways. Bird wanted to try their options, but look who Kefri picked up. Overpowered. That is going to be a dangerous duo for sure. Also keep an eye out for Cybait and Low One. That Low One guy, saw some of his streams.
Really well.
He's pretty nutty. Bonker and Koa as well.
Bird and Diggy Dog.
And then the NIP boys playing from Sweden in the same house. Bird and Diggy Dog.
I mean, that's synergy right there.
Alternate and Cuss.
To be honest, though, once Kefri and Bird got together and started landing it up, that's when things started to fall apart. So I'm wondering, maybe there's an inverse effectiveness today.
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to look at Mo Pork and Synergy as well. Mo had, I believe he was the one with the incredible hiding play against Ninja and Chappie last
You're
round.
right. That was him.
So he's got some synergy with the cartons of potions in the game, but we'll see if that happens with his teammate. Last Incon, notable. Zombie and Hodzik. Hodzik actually did pretty well over the last week. Bird and FPS Rep. So this is who Bird is playing with. And now Z1 Unknown and Jatobo and I Hold Shift and Slick, the winners of the 100K Keemstar Invitational last week.
And there's always that moment, right? When you're watching both Bird and Kefri, now Sony playing with Cookie Man, and it looks like that duo, might be just sticking. After winning the 100K, Sony and Overpowered kind of went their separate ways, found different partners. Reasons unbeknownst to us, right? It's probably not mechanical issues. It's approach to the game, maybe communication, maybe just getting along better with a certain partner.
I mean, at a certain point, you don't have the same cares before you earn $25,000 as after you earn it.
Sure.
So they may not be too stressed. They're like, hey, we can flex it out. We can try new people. We're not worried about winning this week if things don't go well. Aiming for the highest total, playing the long run instead of the short run as well. I know we're close to getting into the game. I'm actually trying to figure out where we're going into next because I believe got some classes potentially to talk about. I'm not sure. Waiting for our producer. Where are we heading to?
You could always give a quick shout-out to esports.realmroyale.com.
That is true. We could always do that.
Of your esports-related needs.
And I think twitch.tv/Realm Royale map is another place.
That's definitely a big one. We've got it up. It's right there.
It's beautiful.
I've got my big monitor right here, guys. But on my trusty second hand, it's closer to me, right? So
yeah.
you know that I like it a little bit more than Evan does. I really tend to plug it more than he does as well. It's a great thing to have. You get to watch the whole game. You get to watch your favorite team move around the map, as well as seeing, you know, you watch the circle, right? Watch where it is, watch where your favorite team is, and just watch how they respond. When do they move out? How do they approach? How do they move into the circle? There's a lot of information to be gained by actually watching the map stream.
When you do have this overall sense of where the game is heading, you give yourself foreshadowing, which is a very good thing in writing and in literature. When you could tell, ooh, that guy seems like a bad guy. 20 chapters later, I know he's going to do something wrong. Keep an eye on him. If you could see, oh, man, my boy's moving towards, there's somebody forging there, you give yourself that sense of suspense, and it ultimately leads to a better viewing experience. But let's talk a little bit about what you will be watching. The classes involved, 5 classes altogether in Realm. The Assassin, probably the most notable and competitive. You always have an Assassin on pretty much a team, but I wonder if that will consist throughout this week's play as well.
Nothing's really been changed too much. We haven't seen anyone, because of the changes to Sniper Rifle. That's probably the biggest, most recent change to the Assassin, having some drop on the projectile. So not only do you have to lead the projectile, but now if it's a very far shot, you're going to have to compensate for the projectile drop as well. Most people haven't been taking shots that far away because it's like in a competitive environment like this.
Why are you shooting me cross map and giving away your position?
You're going to give away your position. Probably not going to be able to hit 2 in a row to actually clean up that kill. So not a lot of people going for that. The mid-range snipes is still just as effective. Got a new passive, stole it from the Hunter. Probably a good trade deal. Better trade deal, I think, for the Assassin than the Hunter.
How do you think he stole that? You walk up 2 daggers, just hold a knife through his throat, say, give me your
smoke
passive?
screened, and then he hit him with a sleight of hand. He yoinked it.
Ow.
Come on.
Okay. I haven't been swimming like you, Nick.
Got chat. I mean, I didn't know you were. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
As I'm known for being a brick wall in the office, people look at me and say,
yeah,
wow,
wait, what is it?
That's the biggest guy in the world.
That's the biggest brick wall.
That's the biggest brick wall I've ever seen. But we won't be talking about that anymore as I recover from my shoulder injury and we drop in round 1, which is now not round 1 of 10, round 1 of 8 if you're just joining us here. Only 8 rounds to prove you're the best and take home the biggest share of the prizing, $4,000 for first place today. And the top 8 also getting some money all of the places down the board.
Look at this. On the map stream, we got some new features. So now you can see every single team with their tag. Okay, never mind.
This is our special. This is our special stuff. This is our special stuff. They don't know.
I've got this.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a new feature.
So you got a new feature.
I'm really excited about the new feature that I have.
It is very cool, I will say.
Now, I could just bring you all a better experience with my new toy.
Hashtag foreshadowing.
I'm going to share, chat. Don't worry.
Please do.
I'm going to share.
As we get to the drops. A lot of teams to pay attention to. Of course, Kefri and Overpowered. Wherever Kefri and Bird are, you want to make sure that you pay attention. And this is actually an old manor, so an interesting fight. They're actually running up on Void.
Wow.
And Imtash. And this duo has been grinding. Void, one of the more successful players in the final circles. And here taking Kefri on. He doesn't have much in it.
Left shoulder peek here. Kefri trying to get involved. He's got a couple of shots left in that revolver, but he's going to go down from the backside. Imtash already put Overpowered down. That's going to be Kefri going down very early.
I mean, it's such a good decision. And as we obviously look at Imtash here, he decided to go for the 2v1. Overpowered decided to run. And so where numbers could have been, it was really Void and Imtash who decided to make the play. And that's what we see time and time again. The players who decide to make plays and not play passively by surviving typically put themselves in a great spot. Now they've got a kill and old manor to themselves.
But he didn't soar high enough. He didn't get up and out of there. Overpowered, barely hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Has a purple burst as well. And
why not fight that? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I know it's risky, but Kef's, I mean, you know, the communication, right? It's got to just be, we got to fight through this. I've got nothing. I can't run.
They lost that trade so hard initially as well. Kefri lost probably 75% of his overall health. Overpowered lost at least his armor and then a little bit of his HP pool as well. And then Void and Imtash were both full HP still somehow. So Kefri and Overpowered didn't get any back tags out of those two. Made it a very easy 2v2.
As we spectate along here towards the northeastern side, Alternate and Cuss actually looting up here. Very close to Team 22, just a little bit south of them, actually rotating into the village they are, and that will be some fireworks soon as we head down to the Hidden Swamp, the Forbidden Swamp, excuse me, and check in with Extra Cool. And who is Roxas? Fighting Lasses and Incon here. It's a nice slug rifle shot as well, working with a green.
Yeah.
Incon fires back with a burst and forces him behind.
Put some good damage in initially. Lass, thankfully, has some arm potions to heal up with. Green slug Green burst, pretty good weapons. Oh my goodness, what a great pull there. Gets a purple breastplate, so now has some innate HP regen, as well as the green boots to just armor up even further. So Last working with just a lot of effective HP for this early in the game. It's still under 3 minutes in, and he's already working with almost 2,000 HP.
And that soar might not have been to go up top. It is a relatively exposed position, so he might have just been soaring up to get vision. He did see Sam, and that's why Incon and him have started to rotate. They know they've got one here. This is an elim that will do well, but Incon loses a little bit of the armor in the trade. Elastis has to make it, and it's Extra Cool who finds Sam with the crossbow. So now they know Extra, who is Roxas approaching from the west side, Nick.
Okay, it's a good tag there from Lassus. Lass gets another one on a Roxas, trading about evenly so far.
It's even.
Across the way. Lass and Incon go for the heal. Roxas and Cool.
Oh, no.
Just continue to move there, but Lass, they get an angle on him and they put some more poke in.
And that's a good poppy bomb, excuse me, the concussion bomb by the assassin. Used to just find some vision. Where are they? And also get a little bit of damage as well.
There we
Only
go.
400, but that's going to be at the legendary level. Extra Cool getting low and has to force the healing totem, and Incon wants to get a better position. He's holding Last there on that corner to make sure that he can rotate safely. And there's another concussion bomb. Will not hit this time. Last force into the ice block, Nick, and this is getting dangerous. Incon has to make a play.
Big rotation here from Incon, but he is fully committed. He's under a firebomb, goes into his ghost walk as well as going to chicken one. Looks for the second. This is good damage to the dink as well. Incon, it finally pays off. Lassus did go down. I gotta say, I like the play, but it definitely took Incon a while to get there, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's still smart. Granted, I think if anything, Last should slow down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Incon was right to not burn any of his abilities. Those
absolutely.
Are 15-second, 10-second cooldowns. You don't want to use those unless you absolutely have to. And if he didn't have all those available when he eventually got up on that hilltop, he would have been dead.
And it looked like Last was just really trying to maybe be a little bit overzealous in getting their attention. I think he already had it. Incon didn't seem to be on the radar at all. And so they kind of luck out with that one. The ice block, definitely a savior there. As Runna finds himself fighting Satori, who is actually got standing as well approaching him, but it's still Satori and Runna fighting off, and Runna forced down after the thrust, and they're protecting some of their gear that they've been forging up here.
A couple of armor potions dropped as well. Just a piece of armor crafted from this forge so far. Standing, trying to keep his teammate healed up healthy. It's a 2v1 here, so I expect them to heal up and probably push this. They don't look like they're crafting anything else, but they do have the shards to do so if they want.
I mean, it's a good piece of armor too, Nick, especially with the warrior passive, that extra HP 5. So he's got 20 in total. Trouble here for Bird, and he knows it, trying to hide, find an angle, mount up, and just get out of line of sight fast enough, and he does. It's going to pull him back, but as you can see, the player,
he's got nothing.
Even the character yelling in anguish. It is not looking good for her.
Bird only with one healing potion. Thankfully, he does have an ice block. Common as it may be, it's a long cooldown. It's not much healing, but it sure is better than nothing.
On Light and FaZe, we see these guys every single week, really consistent and improving on the week. Haven't had any notable placements yet, but maybe this is the week that will change it. Only 8 rounds. It is FPS reps, and Bird will be approaching in on the zone. Very, very quiet. These footsteps can get heard by both teams, so looking to find an angle, just see who starts to peek so they can both get some information.
This is tough. Sensor drones, it sounds like, for maybe both teams there. I know
they both know.
had one. Yeah. Jodobo, they both know they're there for sure. So you want to know, Jodobo pushing an unfortunate soul who looks to be by himself at this point. One of his teammate just went down. And still, the crouch fest continues.
Bonker goes down, so I'm not sure if actually Bonker and Koa are both alive or if that team has fallen. But that is a team that's notably been around in the money. I believe they actually came very close to, or placed last week in the 100K. I mean, incredibly, incredibly amazing performances from Koa, especially late game.
Looks like Shift and Slick are down as well, according to my feature, but Book of Ken, he is not. The Book of Ken lives on, brothers.
The Book of Ken. All these movies about the Book of Eli and all this important stuff, but the Book of Ken.
That was a great movie. I loved that a lot.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I saw it super late, not in theaters, not even on like DVD. Or just like browsing channels one night. Put it on.
It was pretty epic.
All right.
Yeah. My brother loved that movie too. I mean, that's his name, so he was very.
Whole
damn book about me. Wow. Let's watch this, guys. Couldn't ignore him as we head over. 44 players left, 26 teams left. Circle closing in now. Lexi and Haida Gray getting approached on by Mikey, and they don't see him just yet. Hits a couple of shots with the green burst, and he's got a legendary totem, so this will help to give him some sustain, especially with the barricade. He's probably not going to drop it now because he hasn't found the position he wants out of line of sight. And there's Dolphin. Remember him? Dolphin.
Wow,
G-Dolphin with an incredible performance last week as well.
Honestly, a lot of these players starting to become familiar faces because of their performances, right? Mikey and G-Dolphin were the literal no-names for us that were just like, oh my god, these guys are in third. Where have they been all game? They've just been so consistent. They found themselves in third place at one point for the 100K. Haida Gray and Alexi, two guys that have performed well as well, but the high ground just pays off.
G-Dolphin trying to trade. That was a shot he didn't want to take. He's got plenty of armor and potions, so he's not too worried though. But Alexi and Haida Gray, they hold and secure their bounty. They found the Pirates' gold, and they are not letting anyone into the cave until they get their fair share. Heading over towards the left side by the Fog. It is FaZe and Bird. Both those teams still facing each other off. I mean, just sensor droning for days. Bird made a move, though.
There comes a time where you've done too much research on your opponent. You just need to go Bird completely on his own.
Like what?
Miscommunication, I guess, you know? I don't know. Almost looked like the last Incon problem where, you know, the assassin has the mobility to get up there, but it's just a matter of, well, I don't want to burn my abilities to get up there and then be super vulnerable.
I mean, but it was so hyperbolized. I mean, Bird went completely by himself. FPS Reps it felt like in that communication he was saying, I'm going, and he was like, sorry, man, I just got back from the bathroom. What are you doing? Oh, whoa. And then that's how that ended up transpiring.
You know, that's the type. Bird does get back up, but right back down. FaZe will put him. That looks like that's the type of play you see that, and then that causes the partner breakup.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you know, communication issues.
I think he's lucky because this is their first week, and this is their first time, so they're going to be like, oh, man, you know, we'll get over that. Like that first bump in the road, so to speak. You know you're going to have, you start moving in with somebody, you know you're going to have those issues. They don't do the dishes the way you want. You know, they don't make the bed, blah, blah, blah. They leave some hair in the shower. I know that's a common thing for you.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, right? Change your ways.
Reformed.
Pretty hair is pretty hairless at this point.
Yeah. A lot of pros, a lot of hidden bonuses there. Alexi, Haida Gray still pushing. Just look at the firepower here. Purple Burst, Purple Slug, and the Potion Launcher here.
Nice.
Should be an easy 2v1 from the same page. Where's the partner fire, though? Okay, there. It comes around from the side. Was involved in that fight.
Lasbra did everything he could, though. I mean, beautiful avoiding with the Ghost Walk. Beautiful blink away from the bird. He earned himself an extra 2 shots, and he just couldn't do it. It was just too much that he had to traverse through in terms of damage and, of course, numbers. And so that will end his journey.
So we've got Kefri and Bird both dead, but they're on separate teams nowadays. Overpowered and FPS Reps, their partners, respectively now. Both also dead, so a lot of the heavy hitters out of the race. I believe I Hold Shift and Slick are dead, the winners from last week's 100K. Grego and Prince Danny, they were so close, man. They had one hell of a tournament, their best tournament.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, it was definitely a matter of time for Danny and whoever he was partnered with. I don't know Grego personally. I don't know where he comes from or how Danny and he came together, but it's good to finally see them get some success. They were really happy with their performance.
To me, one of the more improved teams that I would put in with Mikey and G-Dolphin, obviously with Bonker and Koa, and obviously Shift and Slick, right? I mean, finding placements.
What a tournament that
it was incredible, but everybody's had those moments that made you say, okay, they've kind of become sophomores, so to speak. No longer that freshman slump. And notably, it's the sophomore slump, but in this sense, I'm actually using sophomore as a term of endearment, where I think that they've got that veteranship now, and they're starting to say, hey, we actually have a chance to start being more of elite teams week in and week out in this Realm Royale esports scene. With only 18 teams left, everybody taking at least a positive 18 if they go down now.
Wow. So you want to know, and Jotabo, they're getting aggressive here in this 4. Looks like they're going to drop the first one. Z is going to go down here, and he gets one tapped, it looks like, while in chicken form. Jotabo, close quarter engineer fight here with the potion launcher involved as well. The swapping is good from Jotabo. One more shot would do it from either of these players.
Wow.
And it's going to be Runa that goes down. Jotabo, by the skin of his teeth, comes out on top.
I mean, I almost. Oh, but you know what? Wait, is the teammate?
Yes, Runa's teammate is still alive.
Runa's teammate Standon is still alive, so Jotabo knows that that's going to happen. He's potioning up right now. so there's no time to be careful, to be safe. Standon actually just going to run away from there. He has the potions to be able to go back in and fight, but knowing who that is, as he's seen Z1 Unknown fall and his teammate get killed by Jitobo, decides, I'm going to back off on this one.
Maybe not.
Maybe won't win this fight.
It is an engineer, right? His cooldowns are going to be coming back up. It's very difficult to fight an engineer who's using his cooldowns properly indoors like that. Thrust kind of becomes irrelevant, but it was funny to watch both those engineers just like spike their skulls into the ceiling with their thrust, not really accomplish too much.
Absolutely. And the swapping with the pillar in between. I mean, you're just swapping and shooting into a brick column. I thought it was, you know, maybe a little excessive, but it ended up working out for both players. You got to show off your skills when you can, right?
And Jitobo definitely one of the more consistent when it comes to
swap heavy.
That hot swap. The hot swaps. He loves it.
More, yeah. That's an understatement. He is the swap king. He is the swap sire.
He's just indecisive. Ooh, look at this.
Swap
Ooh,
man.
A potion launcher. Ooh, a slug rifle. Ooh, a potion launcher.
Ooh, potion. Exactly. He just gets so excited about every other one that he thinks about. The grass is always greener. Perfectly displayed there by Jitobo's swapping. Prince Danny and Grego fighting low one and Cybate. And this is a team that you have to be worried about. Cybate and low one, I believe, actually won the tournament on Sunday.
Man.
And they have been looking good, Nick.
EUPPL versus NA. Ex-PPL member here.
Yes, some stretch.
Here we go. The storylines. They're building.
That's right.
The culmination about to unfold here.
They're pushing.
Low one and Cybate definitely winning the trade early on. And oh my god, this right shoulder peek here. It's beautiful from Cybate. He can work with this all day long.
And he knows how to use an heirloom rifle. He's got a legendary one, Nick. We rarely ever see this weapon used, but oh boy, it's doing some damage there onto Grego. Chickened already, looking to find another one as well. And it's going to be Danny, who can save or break his team here. Grego's still in the chicken form. They've got to pursue it. Oh, and Grego's running right into Simon. Grego realizes it. He's not going to be able to hide behind the chest this time, Nick. The egg stands out just a little bit too much.
I mean, Danny just barely gets away, but he's spotted out when it's all said and done. The withdrawal doesn't bail him out entirely. Jumps on the wall. Beautiful positioning here from low one. He can work with this all day. Checking corners. All right, there he is. Nothing to hit but a headshot there.
Absolutely.
You're looking down directly on top of Danny.
Wow.
Low one and Cyb8. They went into that fight with after getting the initial poke. They go into that fight again with the less effective health overall and still come out on top by a mile. Cyb8, big Leon guy as well. Rarely misses a shot with that heirloom rifle.
I also want to talk about something Low One just did. He actually took away the revolver and went for an epic shotgun. We do not see a lot of epic shotgun play. We don't see a lot of shotgun play in general.
What color was his revolver?
I believe it was purple as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so he just a straight trade. He has the slug. So what do you think? Just knowing he's going to fight with the slug most of the time, and since it's a Forbidden Swamp ending, it's most likely going to be close range.
But that would honestly tell me, all right, we want revolver at that range there. But the fall off, even from where this circle is, can still be in play. Slug doesn't have any fall off. Perfect midair accuracy as well. And I'm playing an engineer. Of course, I'm going to want something with midair accuracy.
Maybe it's also, hey, my build, people have to get close to me. I don't have to get close to them. So maybe the shotgun, he knows, I'm going to be able to force people to come into the range where it's most effective.
We've seen people, they're dabbling with it. They're definitely dabbling with the shotgun. There's moments of effectiveness for it as well. Again, you got to stress, you got to be hyper close range with it. But when you are, it is without a doubt effective.
Yeah, it's really only Jitobo, I think. Slug, shotgun swap, that was pretty incredible. He had a game that ended in Trinity Hills where he showed that off pretty dang well. And G Dolphin, without Mikey, but finding 3 kills himself with 12 teams remaining, that's a -6. So he's really only taking a +6 here. Definitely good round for this squad. And if he can move in to the top 5, he's going to go negative.
Good couple of lone wolves here in this game. G Dolphin, one of them. I believe M-Tashed I saw alive, one of them as well. A lot of gear to work with here. Feeling good about it, but I don't remember if it was G Dolphin or not. I think it may have been. Somebody left a legendary concussion bomb on the ground, and I feel like it was G Dolphin because I remember looking at Ghostwalk and Sensor Drone and being like, huh, that's kind of odd that you would leave that
I did see that, yeah. That actually looked like, I forget.
And maybe it's just...
It might have been Cybate and low one.
There is a time and a place. Sensor Drone is absolutely viable. You just have to play differently than I would say the mass majority of assassins play.
Absolutely. You're looking for the information, not the poke. Maybe not the displacement. And already Satori finding a big kill on the Winston here, looking to fight off of Book of Kin as well. Jealous about that Book of Eli move, and he says, I want my screen time. And he finds it. Takes the kill with a burst rifle. Epic burst at that. Alternate and Cuss still alive with 4 eliminations. Great game for them.
Yeah.
Although we haven't spectated them much, this is looking like a very possible win. They've just got to take down Zombie and Hodzic. Easier said than done.
Definitely. Shout out to Zombie Unicorn as well.
Oh, just
coming
grinding.
back week in, week out.
I love
improving. Love it.
I'm always casting, but I got to watch her stream one time because, you know, yeah, she's here every week. That's pretty cool.
And alternate Cuss. Have him pinned down in a spot. You can see everyone's pretty aware of these spots now.
Absolutely.
Down here in the swamp, these little crumbling buildings, the roofs you can kind of hide in. Weeks 1, week 2, you know, those guys that were out there in front of the pack, couple of top teams, they knew about those spots. But now, you know, the secret's kind of out, and people are aware that you can and will be hiding up in there.
I want to actually talk a little bit about this tech that Alternate's using. He's actually leaving a turret and a barricade down. And this is a really random thing, but he hasn't disenchanted them, and they have the ability to disenchant them. There is a strange situation where you may want to have a turret in there, and just in case, probably won't use it. 99% of the time out of 100, you will not. But he's giving himself the option to be able to randomly switch out whether the barricade is not needed or whether the firebomb is not needed because of the positioning they're in.
I think you can, like, drop your barricade, pick up the turret, put the turret down, pick your barricade back up. In terms of your skill. Won't be off cooldown your barricade.
Right.
But
usually it disappears, though.
All the abilities.
Yeah. All of them.
My turret now,
the best tech. I used to try that all the time, but every time I would do it,
kitted.
It would disappear.
That's the only way you can say you're fully kitted now, is if you've been juggling
a
legendary turret along with you the entire time.
Wouldn't that be great if you're deciding that the guy goes into an emote and he just starts juggling like the icons of the turret and the barricades? Which one should I pick? Zombie and Hodzic doing their best to try to pick off at least one of Cuss and Alternate, but now they're getting crossfire around the map as well.
This is getting ugly.
They're in the middle of the map. This is really bad, Nick. This is not where you want to be right now.
Cuss and Alternate rotating around to, it looks like Cybate in low 1.
No armor either.
They will tuck themselves in, but again, another team out in the open here. Cuss and Alternate, no choice but to fire back.
9 teams remaining here. It's starting to get a little crazy. The Mixer Boys alive as well. Low 1 Cybate also alive. 2 eliminations to their name. Already a kill on an Anonymous by 820 Jet. And it looks like another chicken has been found. Mixer Incision finds that kill, but Jatobo goes in on the Cuss. Everyone's fighting. It is hell on water as G-Dolphin tries to make it away. 5 elims for him. What a game already in the negative. -3 right now.
Barely makes it inside. Alone without a partner. Good armor, good weapons going. Book of Ken goes, still alive here. Jet
they
goes
switch
down.
sides.
They just trade, draw a partner, but Ken gets aggressive here. Comes out on top, 52 HP, not even close. And he wins this really good positioning.
What a trade. I mean, the aggressiveness as well. He uses his Ghost Walk just so he doesn't take fog damage. Still takes a little bit.
Yeah.
But he basically just risks it all, and it comes out as a huge boon for him. He gets the -2 there. He takes a team down, so that's -3 points that just went in his favor, and he's got the best positioning on the map.
Now, I don't even know where the next circle is going to be because we got so many players just packed in this tiny little room left. Zombie Unicorn and Hodzic. Decent positioning as well, and just the abilities to fight from where they are. They can drop this barricade, push through the doorway as well. G-Dolphin looks like he has gone down to Cybate and low 1. They pick up only their 3rd frag despite how healthy, how geared, and how well positioned they are.
But see, G-Dolphin with 5 frags, right? Starts fighting there. Now Cybate and low 1. There's still 3 other people. They've only got 3 frags, but they can end up with 6 and take pretty much a commanding lead, I believe, of this final circle if they end up taking down at least Hodzic or Zombie, who have done so well to stay around and involved this late. Still working with the legendary Heirloom. Gonna miss a couple of shots, though. Book of Kin starts firing, and he gives his position away to Cybate, but Cybate has still 3 people in his sights.
Oh, there it is. Hodzic. He's in a situation here. Booker Ken doesn't know the full context of where he's at, but it looks like Ken has just decided, I'm just going to try and kill people if I can. Placement out the door right now. Give me those elimination points.
And low 1 trying to find Zombie, and he does. That's huge. Book of Kin finding Hodzic, though, with the burst rifle, so that's huge for Book of Kin, who's now got himself quite a few eliminations. It's low 1 and Cybate versus the Book of Kin. Will it end just as well as Denzel in the Book of Eli? Not sure, but Book of Kin blinking up, doing his absolute best. The barricade comes through, Nick. The firebomb and the Crown Royale. Cybate and low 1 take game
start.
number 1.
And that's, I think, about 5 kills for them, roughly. It's 3 when
yeah,
they
about
were able
5.
to clean
They
up
lost,
G-Dolphin.
yeah,
somewhere in there. I don't know if they got the rest of the lobby. It'd probably be 6 if they got the rest of the lobby there.
Yep.
But you got to give credit to Book of Ken. You know, we were memeing on him a little bit when we first saw him. But then we
great.
because of that, we started to go back to and watch him a little bit more. Him and Jet, they're actually really great players here.
Yeah.
And they're starting to make a name for themselves consistently, you know, making it in the top 10 over and over again. You know, that's something to be said for that.
Well, let's take a look at the post-game stats here. Round 1 just finished up, and it was
Look at you, Ken.
and Low 1 who took first place. But first place as far as standings goes to Book of Ken and 820 Jet with 6 elims. And the real switch there is the 4-point switch. They actually allow Book of Ken to steal Hodsick and over Zombie Unicorn's team. So that was what did it.
Is that what happened? Okay, yeah. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Something had to go his way there. And the rest of the boys here filling out. Clow showing back up. Bird and Diggy Dog almost dead last. Don't play on land, folks.
I mean, it's interesting. That
it's
was where they played.
Online tournament for a reason.
But only 16 points, so still, you know, right now only 26 behind lead, which is fine.
I love it. I love that 20-point cap.
Yeah, I mean, you're still 26 behind lead, and with 8 rounds as well, still a lot of room to play. 7 rounds remaining here. Imtash and Void, notably, 14 behind. They have a couple of eliminations and still placed positively there.
The rest of the gang filling out here. Like we said, 20-point cap. So even you can see, based on placing, we did this in the Keemstar tournament where what you placed is what you got. So 39th would get 39 points.
Yeah.
This tournament's going to be capped at 20. So you can't just get blown out of the water 2-3 bad drops in a row. It's not going to put you out of the event.
That's important. Of course, let's take a look at some of the best moments of round 1, because to me, that was a round that could have gone anybody's way. We had teams like Danny and Grego, Cybate and Low One, alternating cuts, G-Dolphin still alive. You know, Zombie and Hodsick made to the end. And Jatobo and Z Want to Know we're pretty close to being in the conversation late as well.
Yeah, they just ran into a really, really good team. I got to say, this was kind of my favorite fight of the game there. Cybate and Low One, I thought they just played it so well.
Yeah.
And it was just the perfect contrast to all those times we saw just like this weird, almost miscommunication between partners.
Yeah.
The hard opposite of Cybate and Low One. They felt like they were really on the same page. Their comms clearly on point. And just the way they're rotating around and pinching people and taking fights and getting good positioning, like jumping onto the top of that wall and just checking systematically each angle he checks it until he finds him. I mean, it was really, really solid stuff.
Well, solid stuff from everyone in round 1, but we've still got 7 more to go. Rain Day and Pretty here on the cast. We're taking a very quick break, like a minute, guys, seriously, and we'll be right back with round 2 here at Realm Royale. Well, round 1 was quite a shocker. Had some teams in there that hadn't seen before taking the W. Cybate and Low One with an impressive start, but it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. As we take a look at round 2 beginning here in Realm Royale. Players dropping Nick, and what's the topic of this game here? Do you play it a little slower? Do you play a little bit more aggressive? You've only got 7 more.
That's the fun part about a game 2 like this, when so many big teams go down so early in round number 1. You're going to see completely different fights because everyone's like, for whatever reason, obviously emotions is going to play into it.
Right.
We just got smoked at this spot. We're dropping somewhere else. We're dropping somewhere different. And it looks like Bird and FPS reps will have Trinity Hills entirely to themselves.
Holy moly.
Chapo and Weekend go to Kefri and Bird's old stomping grounds down at the Unmarked Forge. And that's what happens, right? When someone dies at their spot A, their plan A, they're going to go to plan B in game number 2, and you're going to see a fresh batch of fights.
You know what? But let me just showcase how open Lumberfall and Trinity Hills are in these competitive games. People don't go there. People just don't go there. I mean, even in the late rounds, I thought it was the early rounds. No one goes to the hot spots in the casual drops, and I think that's just because pros know it's so risky. Like, yeah, sure, no one goes there.
It's funny though,
but
right?
when I decide to go there, somebody's going to go there and kill me. I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah, it's like everyone thinks everyone's going to go there. No one ever goes. There is legitimately no one in Jade right now. 1 team in Fungal, 1 team in Lumber, 1 team in Trinity.
And teams are rotating, though. That's what we're seeing. We see them start at a place where they can get gear. It's not a hot drop. It's a drop where they know they're safe. Maybe 1 fight, they're not going to get sandwiched. And then they will rotate into some of these bigger areas that have forges that obviously have opportunities for them to loot even further and get their gear up, as Buddha and Daz looking to fight off against Hodsick and Zombie Unicorn. Jatobo finding a kill on Cybate, which is huge, Nick.
Low One goes down as well. It looks like Shift does clean up Jotabo. Massive kills, massive fights happening right now.
That's at Jade. That's at Jade now. It has to be.
No, it's down just above Sentinel, Hold, Shift,
Is it?
And Slick. Yeah, it's still no one in Jade at all.
Really?
People starting to rotate into it now. Shift and Slick, always, they're basically Kefri and Bird at this point. They always drop at that little spot in between Trinity and Jade and Sentinel. And then they just, I don't know what the logic is for where or how or why they rotate to where they rotate to on a game-by-game basis. But now they're working their way into Jade this time.
Yeah, this is where Saib, so it's interesting. I'm not exactly sure where they landed, but I know Saib 8 and Low 1 rotated to right about here. And though this is technically the outskirts of Jade, when I see Bamboo, I start saying Jade Gardens no matter what. So this is definitely right above that Sentinel area. And right here,
wow, look at this.
Where Kefri and Bird usually drop, there are 3 teams, Octane's team, Chapo and Weekend's team. Didn't get a glimpse at the other one as well. It seems to be...
I didn't recognize their names, to be honest.
Lion
and Mary Maybe rotating around as well. Everyone looking for Chapo and Weekend's positioning right now. They have the inside of the 4. Weekend pushes out, gets dropped to about half, starts to heal back up as well, and thankfully has the 3 armor potions to do it. He's got the purple barricade. They've got what they need, right? It's commons and rares, but they've got what they need. Chapo and Weekend should be okay in this fight if they take it wisely.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is just no armor. Right? That's the only thing that you would like to have that you don't have now. Chapo trying to get information, but Weekend's already chicken, so Chapo hasn't really given away his position yet. He knows Octane Pro might be moving in on the bottom side. That's why the legendary smoke screen is coming in hand. He's got to use his blink very, very carefully because he's only got 1, and then it's quite a long cooldown as Synergy finds an IP Bird, not Bird from the Bird and Kefri team, and alternate goes down to Imtash, and Ependary finds Baggins as well.
We really have to start casting that now, huh?
Yeah, Bird and Bird.
2 birds.
Dear God. Bird 1 and Bird 2.
All right, well, this Forge fight still happening here. Weekend and Chapo pinched effectively. Both these teams fighting down onto them, coming out on top. Where's the teammate? Where is Octane Pro right now? Is he getting an angle? That's why you got to be working with this time, this standoff time. You need to be making moves. You need to be getting yourselves the advantage and communicating about how you can go about doing so.
Nice jump in. Looking for something. Good concussion bomb as well. Now Octane Pro moves in. Ghost walk just for a little bit. The charge, not going to do any damage, but just get a little bit closer to the final prize. But whoa. Octane,
where's that?
From somewhere else, from afar, actually gets chicken. And so now he's got to be careful.
Ken, brother.
And Win goes over and finds the kill. So that was very, very unfortunate. Octane gets killed by 820 Jet. Wyann's still alive, but Book of Ken on a rampage yet again.
Zaphobia, it looks like he's gonna hang out. He's gonna defend.
What jukes?
His teammate jumps him down again. Ken picking up what he can from this fight. Some shards to work with. Concussion bomb, ghost walks as they try to fight their way out. But the 3rd team involved in that weakened fight will steal away that kill on the Zaphobia. And so now Book of Ken realize there is someone else here. But do we want to push this?
And what a great fight for them to roll into. I mean, they've got their pick of the litter as far as abilities. I'm very surprised Book of Ken doesn't have better abilities and weapons right now. Wyann, of course, still alive, so Wyann was capable of picking up a few of those pieces, so some will be with him. As we head over now to close to the Lost Forge, the fog moving in, 2 minutes to get here. Keva Flash, K-Wolf, we know them. Blastus Incon taking a little bit of a spill. The wall could go up from Blastus. He's got to be fast, though, and he's looking for it. There it is. Now he's going to soar away, and that's a beautiful play from Blastus. They're going to have to blink up, but they can't. They can thrust up, but that will at least give Blastus a free shot.
Sure will. Incon in a good spot. Wasn't a good spot here.
No.
Loses. Oh, wow. He just gets bursted down. Blastus has to hit these shots here. Has the ammo left in the clip to do
Got
it.
it.
A couple more tags would have gone on the K-wall. He's going to rotate down here. Pick up 1. Hits the ice block as well. This is looking grim. Legendary Sword, though. He's going to be able to get out of this.
Wait, what?
What?
Homie got juked.
He's cross-eyed.
His
ankles
got twisted.
They're broken.
Oh, call the doctor. Call the doctor. This man needs surgery right now.
No!
This man just fell down on the court. He got an Achilles tear. Lasses with the jukes.
What?
Dear God.
Of all the places for you to think that he would go, though, that back corner.
Dude, and you hear the sword.
That you had line of sight of the whole time.
What was that?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Maybe his mama called to him in the middle of the fight. Honey dinner!
What?
I'll be right there, Mom. Just got to kill this dude. Wait, where the hell?
Well, Last stays alive through fortune or just sheer raw talent that is beyond what I'm comprehending. He's out. Incon, unfortunately, does get tracked down by the skin of his teeth. Energy Bird here. We'll just, man, Energy and NIP, that even sounds kind of similar.
This is the worst. This is the worst. But it's
Energy
okay.
Bird
We'll
from
work
NA.
it. I mean, this is not a hard thing. Like, I'm not going to complain about this. This is not a hard thing to do in life.
It's just for the kids at home.
It's for the kids at home, And you got to rep. Energy has a lot of great reps. You see them all over the place. Smite, fighting games. It's great to see one here in Realm Royale.
Everyone's just got to put their thinking caps on, all right? Everyone's got to be 200 IQ today to follow along with this one.
Absolutely.
Energy Bird and FPS reps versus 420 Brain and Game Hunter. Trinity Hill's no longer theirs alone, and this town ain't big enough for the both of us.
And this is a relatively simple yet difficult forge to siege, especially if you don't have an engineer. There's really only 2 outlets that are where you could collapse.
Yeah, I say this all the time. I don't know. I haven't seen a way I like sieging this. So, I mean, do you have a thought?
So what I like is staircase vision, and I like that because typically what they will do is hide near the forge. So you will get an angle on them, and that allows them to stay there in that little box, and they can't move down the stairs because you've got stair vision covered. So I like this angle. But the second angle, it's like, man, you kind of got to be a warrior. You got to shield push, and there's no good spot that you can go into there without them getting a first shot on you.
Basically, right. And almost every angle as the team inside of the forge is going to be right shoulder for you, which I think is huge. There are a couple people that take those left shoulder fights.
Right.
I don't like doing it. It scares me a little bit. But 420 Brand and Game Hunter are going to have to find a way. And both these teams have sensor drones. They just have all the vision.
I know. That's the problem, that both of them have it. Otherwise, it could be a lot easier. So no firebomb. You cannot move them. You can't play Puppet Master here to orchestrate them getting out of an area that you'd like to have some pressure on. FPS Reps is doing exactly what he should do. This is how you hold it.
I misspoke.
If I'm Game Hunter, I want to be here up the staircase.
Only one sensor drone here. It's just a legendary. That's why it's up so much. I'm like,
gotcha.
That's got to be 2 cents, and it's just a legendary. The cooldown's super low. FPS Reps, he moves in for it. Goes for the concussion pop, but he is not winning that trade.
I'm curious why you would take that route, especially since you have the advantage of them having to come to you. It seems like he puts himself in a bad position, but they do get the aggression. They do get the first shot, and sometimes that's what makes the difference in these fights. He's still got the smoke screen. Epic level in 420 Brain has been taken down. So still 2 teammates alive and only 1 on the side of Game Hunter.
You got to say Bird carried that fight.
Absolutely.
Pretty hard there. He did a lot of the damage there. He was tanking the 2v1 as well.
Oh, it's easy.
Reps.
Why drop?
He gone.
Oh, his buddy left. He was their distraction.
Diversion.
I'll sacrifice for myself.
My last act.
And they're trying to find him, but he got out far enough, so I don't think they will pursue it much. They might take a look at the loot. With 22 teams remaining, 36 players. Positive 22 is the score you would take if you went out right now. The Fog about to move into the circle. 10 minutes elapse in round 2. A couple of fights start happening. Strawberry Fields Forever and Lasbra have a great vantage point on 4 members fighting each other.
But Danny and Grego already pick up one. They've done a little bit of forging as well. Looks like just armor, though. No legendary abilities for either of them. They both have purple slugs, so I think they're happy with their firepower, and they just go straight to the armor. They've got a lot of effective HP working with, as well as those juicy passives. Getting shot from behind here. Pay attention to the hit indicator there, Grego.
Yeah, Sony and Cookie Man, I mean, they've got an even better position.
Where are they?
I don't know, but this is some crazy warrior.
How do you get up there?
This is some crazy warrior assassin stuff, man. This is just absolutely crazy height, and now they drop down. Nice burst. You could hear the headshot, although you didn't see the number there. You don't have to. Grego gets taken down. Notably, Sony working with a healing potion and a net shot, a very strange loadout for a warrior, but most likely just running with the highest tier of whatever abilities came up in his looting.
Not a lot for me on net shot. I will say that's one I will leave. Unless, of course, my slot would otherwise be empty.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You know, I mean, the conversation is never net shot over like a legendary shielding potion. It's the conversation of a white whatever you like.
You know what? I pick it up so I don't get it again at the next one.
There you go. That might be the strat right there. Some pretty hair strats leaked to the audience. Make sure you use those in your games. Zonka Jonik in trouble. Oh, he did a little jump hop as well. Jump shot. Hit the leaves, though. Oh, wow, and that thrust actually puts him in a very dangerous spot. Luckily...
Are they getting pinched from above?
That's right. Luckily, the fire was turned away from him.
Oh, and he's got a sniper, too. Fish in a barrel here. Keva, he can just play with angles all day and just look for people.
Oh,
he can line up that headshot.
He's got
Actually, that may have been a hit. No.
Well, it might have been.
It depends, because at this point, there's going to be some legendary helmets in play. So, like, Cookie Man and Sony, they're not going to take nearly as much headshot damage. They've got a 50% multiplier reduction here. I don't know what the Yonka boys are working with right now. Cookie Man backpedaling. He needs some support.
Oh, nice. I love it. And the Ghost Walk is so fast, Nick. This man runs a faster 40 than Randy Moss here, but Cookie Man trying to just do his best to avoid it, and he's done fantastically. Perfect use of his abilities because he's all commoned out. He has no legendary abilities, not even rare.
Super, super good from him, as well as Sony. He gets there eventually, but Cookie Man he's just playing defensive, right? He's against the ropes. He's got his hands up. He's just trying to absorb as much as he possibly can. Makes a very easy in rotation there from Sony, but now they've got bigger issues.
To me, I think you line up a headshot on the slug there, and then you burst versus immediate burst. I don't know. I feel like you could easily line up those headshots, but elected to burst from that far. Doesn't quite find the kill. Makes him very low. Cookie Man again using all of his cooldowns, and he's got to run. Things are getting dangerous. Strawberry Fields forever jumping into the fight with Lazarus as well. She's going to soar, try to chase him down. Arden trying to hold it here. Ghost Walk just to buy time and get around the corner, but it's going to be a concussion bomb. Who's going to find the shots? The legendary crossbow. That's going to be hard to lose.
There it is. Strawberry Fields doesn't take too much damage for that either. Sony and Cookie Man, they're taking this fight very nicely. Cookie Man doesn't have a lot of HP to work with anymore, though. He blinks up. He's full committed here. Sony is as well. One more shot should do it. This mage soaring away. Nice little positioning there.
I mean, are they both going to die here? That's the thing.
No.
They'll probably be able to make it. Oh, they've got green boots, so I guess it's enough. Is green boots enough?
The circle's just small enough at this stage of the game where the mount just at base is going to outrun it.
And at this point, too, because of the healing potion, it's really coming in handy. So he's just going to build up that health passively, especially if he gets into the fog in that situation where he's using his pots, pops the healing potion, and that just helps to make it that much easier for him to sustain.
In this situation, when you've got a warrior that has his gold breastplate, that has a late game healing potion as well, that's a lot of health per second coming through. So that's where it actually becomes a little bit more viable towards like the hyper late game as well as the early game. I still take shielding potion, but it is nice to have that.
No, yeah, I mean it's the thing of it's grass is greener, but in this game you never get that thing for sure. I mean, if every hunter could guarantee a legendary withdraw, we wouldn't be seeing two of the other abilities guaranteed. So at this point, it's just about working with what you got, and I like the way that he's made the best of it, and it's actually synergizing quite nice for the fact that he's riding the circle inwards. And maybe that becomes the strategy. He decides to ride the circle because he can afford it more so than the other players. With now 19 remaining, 13 teams, and a minute and 40 before the circle moves.
These are some of my favorite types of endings. I don't like the ones where there's just like 90 buildings. We're in Northport, and it's like you have 75 players left 18 minutes into the game, right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to go watch PUBG, I would watch PUBG. I love these because there's the angles, there's the elevation, and there is still cover, so you're not just completely boned if you don't have high ground. You do have things to work with.
Yeah.
But I love these where we get to see the players. They get to put their thinking caps on, right? It's not just rotate from house to house until you're literally just forced to fight. I think there's a lot more thought that goes into how do I position in these types of circles when all I've got is elevation and trees and bushes.
Movement. That's the biggest conversation for me. This game is built around every class having a movement skill. And the fact that you can have an open space to utilize those, fights are so much more dynamic. So you're going to see players with a higher skill cap and a higher game sense exercise that and showcase it through fights in open space more so than they can in a room behind a potion chest. There's just not much you can do there. It's only so far.
Thank God
Sor can take
Ken is dead, or he'd be making you eat your words.
Absolutely. He did do some great stuff with that hustle.
Danny, he's in that building. He's going to take some damage. Dodge rolling out of ground floor windows. Thoughts? Jump dodge roll out the window.
I love it.
Yeet.
It'd just be tough.
Hunter could get a lot of things in terms of mobility and still be fine.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the Hunter could have an even lower base dodge roll and be fine still.
I will say the more we just allow people through windows, though, the less it's funny that chickens can do it, right? Because they were the first.
So you're all about maintaining
chickens are the OG. I just think I don't really care. I'm just objectively does devalue the chicken.
Sure. Yeah. The more people that can do it, yeah.
And I don't really care either
the people
way,
who can at this point. I agree. chicken.
You know, I'm always the guy alive chasing chickens because I'm insane. So if I can just get that over with a little bit sooner, that'd be cool with me.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Top tier gameplay, top tier casting. What else do you want? G Dolphin maybe wants to live here because he's faced with a very precarious situation. The fog moving in, as well as fighters on both sides as well. 9 teams remaining, 11 players. So Game Hunter still repping 420 brain in him, surviving towards the end, but no eliminations. Mopork, man, we saw place 3rd, I believe, with alternate in the 100K. Doing extremely well to stay alive. Overpowered and Kefri got to be the leaders here. Overpowered. Look at, wait, this is not a teammate. Overpowered is snuck up straight behind.
Boy, you thought.
Zap, and that's going to be a sore, and he's going to chase this because he's got 6 elims at this point. Nice block for the fireball. Mopork, they've got to do it. Good fireball as well. He hits the shot, but he can't do it enough. Synergy and Mopork clean up. Overpowered.
Gets a vision as well. These are great tags. Immediately into the Ghost Walk. Zap's going to rotate away, but a couple of dinks there. Still, it's all over.
Still a -5, I think, for Overpowered and Kefri, because they had 6 eliminations, went out 6th, I believe, or 7th.
See, I want to know, I feel like I've only, on Spectator, I've only ever heard 1 dinks with the burst, and I'm just wondering if, because you're not guaranteed to get all 3 dinks. Right. If you hit 1. You can hit 2, you can hit 1, you can hit all 3.
Oh, Nick! I'm
just wondering.
Yo, is Onilight FaZe about to go negative? Oh, it was so close. Only 3 teams remaining, 5 players. I mean, this is huge. They're only taking a +1. A negative score would have been fantastic.
How can you call yourself a friend and caster curse them like that?
I can't believe it. I seriously said it way too early. It's a Flux and a Not-a-Mouse. 7 eliminations. This is the first time we've spectated him this game. I mean, that's undercover, if I've ever seen it, brother.
And they want to have words. They want more screen time, and they're earning it here. Synergy across the way. Sniper in play. And obviously you've got a mage and something else on the other side. We're starting to see a little bit more mages here than engineers, I would say.
Oh, man. Tried to line it up. A Flux can't quite do it. This is a player who's been active in the Realm community on Twitter. Absolutely excited to play. He was tweeting earlier that he got invited and was very, very pleased. Him and Anonymous making the most out of their invite. Mopork and Synergy, round 3 of the 100K tournament. Last tournament that was cast, they actually won in an incredible fight near Sentinel Hole with Prince standing on his team at that point. Actually, alternate. Synergy with the fireball, and there's the ice block right back. Anonymous is going to fall down. It's up to Mopork and a Flux to settle this mano-a-mano.
Wow, Mopork, that last burst there may have actually been game-changing. We'll talk about why after, because this fight is still raging. No armor potions, though, for Mo.
What does the Flux have? Does he have armor? Does he?
I think you almost have to assume that they do. At this stage of the game, you almost have to assume that they do. He does.
Heal.
Mopork, man. Mopork can't heal anymore. Thankfully for him, a Flux isn't really trying to. It doesn't even look like Mo doesn't have a concussion bomb. This is such a terrible fight for him. He's going to rotate wide. Look for the peek. Both teammates now up. The mages are back in play.
Oh, what a shot! A Flux goes down again. He didn't heal at all, and now it's up to his boy to try and clean it up. Anonymous, who has gotten himself back up. Can he save the day? It's just 1v1. The next shot will most likely win it here. They both switch to the slug, and they run away. Mopork going to find the kill at least to get the elimination.
Pick up the concussion bomb and just kill him.
He doesn't want it, Nick. He's clearly not played that way all game. He's not looking to switch it off now.
Oh, boy. Mo's giving me a heart attack here. Teammate up in 4 seconds.
My.
But Synergy, he rotates around and one-taps him with a legendary slug. It's a 1v1. Both players, how do you not pick up Conk Bomb in this situation?
They're both just so focused on healing, getting the best health advantage they have. I would give this to the mage, Nick, if she could play it right. But he doesn't run the sniper rifle, so that's not going to be the big burst he's looking for. He wants the consistent burst. He wants the headshots. Mopork, can he come out on top here? Against the Not-a-Mouse, looking to do it. It's a Ghost Walk and an Ice Block. Both defensive cooldowns utilized, and there's the sword get around a tree. And this is it. Misses the fireball, though. Legendary Slug, 3 chances to hit, and misses. There's the burst. Once, twice. Looking for the third. I think it's going to be a Not-a-Mouse who takes it, but Mo goes into the Ghost Walk again.
Oh, and it's just not enough down the stretch. You got to say, despite Mo not having a conk bomb there, he plays it beautifully with his kit.
He does.
He's hitting more shots than anyone in that fight.
Man.
As well as the fact that the smallest little windows of opportunity for him to get a burst off, he got it off in that fight. He played it very, very beautifully, but just no armor potions. It just hurts you down the stretch.
You know, and it felt like nobody called the bluff. Right? Nobody wanted to say, wait, he doesn't have any armor. Every time I shoot him and like tick him, there's no armor there. So he's clearly not got armor potions, and they're playing so defensive. They want to keep their teammate alive. But, you know, he doesn't feel like he wants to push there. So I think it almost hurts Anonymous, who has the armor potions, as well as the Flux, who has the armor potions, to wait it out that long, but they end up getting it at the end of the day. And I mean, shout outs to both of them. What a great play.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. It's hard to keep track of that as well. Like, I know in a situation like that, I wouldn't be paying attention to the color of the damage number to tell me that. But I feel like you do need to assume that everyone has armor potions there. If anything, if I'm Mo and I get that initial good trade, I look down, I don't have any armor potions. I'm like, well, I got a better chance now than I ever will. So maybe I'm the one that's aggressive there. A lot of ways to play that one there. Anonymous and a Flux with 9 elims will go 17 under for the round and the win.
Onlight and FaZe kind of salvaged that round, so they don't really move up higher with a +1. Bird and FPS Reps taking a bit of a spill as well, a 17. Not what they want after round 2, but we have a lot of teams who have moved into that higher conversation. Bird and I believe Kefri and Overpowered taking a negative score. And
Jodobo.
Look at this. It's going to be actually Onlight and FaZe in that top 8. Cybait and Low One at an 11, and Anonymous and a Flux with that -17 game pushing up to number 1.
Z1, Jodobo, Cybait, Low One all went down extremely early. First 4 teams to go down. I think they were somewhere in there. A lot of people falling early. A lot of games left to play. And with 20-point cap in play, I can't stress enough how interesting it makes these tournaments. Everyone is going to be staying so closely in the hunt. And when you look at those boys that just wanted, they were, what, 17 or 19 under, somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
That's such an incredible swing. Even for these guys like Bird and FPS Reps, you might be saying, oh, they're 51 behind, right? 2 rounds, 3 rounds, they're right back in this. They could be in the lead after that. It's anyone's game at this point.
I think if you are within 10 to all the way down to any form of negative, you're going to be in the top 8. So that's what you're aiming for, and that's, you're not playing against other people, you are, but you really got to play against your own score. Just like golf, you got to play against your own score. What do we need to do here? And negatives are important. We are obviously having a couple of websites for you guys to check out during the broadcast if you want to have some assistance in following along. It's esports.realmroyale.com, which will be your first source for all the news and information around this tournament and what's upcoming, and also twitch.tv/realmroyale map. This will allow you to follow along with some of the map aspects that Nick and I have down there, although we have the special kind and Nick's not showing you till next week. But you can see who's moving where, what team is still on the map, and also who's forging, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and one other thing, I'm excited to, like, the more of these tournaments we get, we'll be able to identify, like, what's a winning score, right?
Absolutely.
Negative, 25, 30, right?
Absolutely.
You've got that day, like Z1 and Jodobo. We'll get to talk about, like, how legendary that one performance was, where they're, like, what, 96 under or something like that. Getting to know, like, what is that top 8 score? Where are people roughly placing, or what is a really breakout performance is going to be a lot of fun to kind of watch and sort of develop that opinion.
I think if you're negative, from what I've seen, as we get into round 3, we are not taking a break, so we'll be heading into that soon. So we're just chatting until they start to drop. I think the negative double digits is a game-winning top 3 score. I think negative double digits. Anything negative 10 and above in terms of the negative, I think is going to be a top 3 score.
Yeah.
Maybe number 1 on the day. I think the issue and the reason why I say that is players maintaining consistent throughout the lobby of 8 games, 10 games, whatever amount of games it is, which is why those negative scores become more valuable as we age in time.
And I don't know why I want to say Shift and Slick won with like a negative 18.
Right.
I could be completely wrong, but
I think it
was somewhere around there. I feel like so. It's not too wild. It's not too. But granted, that was a really good tournament, and the lead changed. I think every single game. From like game 4 to the end of the tournament, there was a different leader, and that's the best. That's the penultimate. That's what you want to ask for in these events. But no one's really out of the running, and even in that 100K with no point limit, where you could have those massive swings there, we still had so many people stay in the running.
Well, I'm excited to see how round 3 kicks up, Nick. It's been 2 really good rounds, 2 different winners. I think the 100K was the most amount of rounds in up until that point that we've had different teams win each round consecutively, because all the other ones, it was Bird and Kefri, Jatobo, Z1. I mean, they were just winning. Even Shroud and Jatobo were just winning multiple rounds in a row. And now we have an opportunity to see, again, 2 rounds, 2 different teams as the drops continue. What's up with Trinity? What's up with Lumber? What's up with Jade? Who goes where here is where I'm curious.
Boyd MTash look like they are headed to Trinity. Looks like Afflux and Anonymous have stopped at Lumber, along with, I guess there's 4 teams there now. It looks like Team 39, Team 12, Team 10, and there's definitely someone else similarly colored stacked on top of Team 39 as well.
Shift and Slick actually went to Jade and towards a little bit of the bottom side of the forge, a little bit southeast. And I know this. I've actually dropped with them once, and I ended up blacking out. Vox and I were playing on Monday 2 weeks ago. But we landed literally right on Shift and Slick, and there's an incredible house there that has 6 chests, a treasure chest for weapons, basically a weapon chest. It's really, really lucrative, but it's very contested. And right now, look at this. Bird and FPS reps holding down this forge. Or this house, excuse me.
They're near that spot where we saw that 3-team fight last round. This is near the unmarked forge where Bird is admittedly really used to, but this is a 4-team fight. It looks like Bird or FPS has already gone down. Sam BC from the window puts in some good work. There are so many teams fighting here, so just watch the kill feed from now on.
I'm actually really
FPS
impressed.
Reps is already dead. Bird's dead.
Man, that is a bummer. FPS Reps and Bird not having the most successful tournament
the
thus
2v1.
far, but Bird is still alive.
Oh my God.
All right, so he has done it.
He really did it to him.
This round is about to be about survival, I would assume. Otherwise, he's going to try to frag out his absolute best, and he's going to get another chicken. Are you kidding me? 2 E-limbs for Bird. All right, now you got to preserve this, because if you do get to the final circle, oh, as I say it, the words come out of my mouth, and they just drip of disappointment.
There are just so many teams here. There was, I think, 4 teams there in that fight in total, and 2 kills for Wyan. He knows there's a lot of people here, so he's checking his corners, crossing his T's, dotting his I's. Swindy, the only one left alive. I don't know if anyone involved in that skirmish knew just how many people were there.
So I was legit about to say when that started, Wyan is just the king of just rolling up to fights like as the 3rd team. Because they did it last round too. They rolled up to a fight near Autumn Fields and were the 3rd team. And he was the guy who stayed alive. His teammate died, but Wyan actually got away. And I forget who was the team that ended up poaching all of it and trying to find Wyan. But he does it again, and 2 eliminations to their name. Great start. Slick and Shift, after going to Jade, have now looked to aggressive. Oh my God, it's Slick. Does he know? Looking for the hot plays here. Slick, stop moving his mouse. Wait, what? He's got to get a save from Slick here.
Shift.
Oh, the heroic landing.
Yeah, it was a really heroic landing there. Shift should be able to
Wait,
the
Slick.
shot. Book of Ken and Jet.
Oh
Both low
my.
HP. Shift and Slick fall by narrow margins here. And now player 3 has entered the game. 1 HP. Actually last hit Shift there. And now he's got an opportunity to clean up this whole fight, and the Mixer boys come in.
Mixing it up.
And just skimaz everyone out of their kills and walk away with 3.
How about that for interactivity?
Mixing
How about that
it up.
how about that for faster than light?
Man, it's crazy, man. That's too funny. They come in.
We told you we were quick.
Yeah, faster than light, you might even say.
Yo, you know what though? That play that Shift and Slick made is a play
Ballsy.
that I just won $25,000. That's the play you make after that. That is not a play for today.
It's pretty unfortunate, the heroic leap there right in front of his enemy.
I mean, he sees him, right?
You got to imagine he accounted
They
for
know
that.
it's one, so why, I think we don't have to talk about it. They know. They've watched the tape. They've seen it. Not the most ideal play for them. Maybe a little overzealous or aggressive there, and unfortunate for the landing. That's for sure. That changed everything.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, no matter what way that goes, I think 1 HP and Incision still probably kill everyone there just because they rotate in and they have good angles on it. Last and Incon come out on
With
top.
such low latency as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing you can do to stop a duo that's just so much synergy. They're co-streaming together probably. What do you do?
Most likely.
How do you outplay that?
Most likely.
As a Twitch streamer.
I don't think there's a way. Chat is like so fast in terms of response. They're giving him advice mid-fight.
They're playing with like a 5-minute delay, and we're like faster than light. Oh, we've just plugged it so many times. How can you forget?
How can you forget? I'm forgetting the 4th one though. Faster than light, co-streaming. We're thinking of our mixer plugs, guys. Sorry for
because there was 4 things.
I know there was. Well, we'll have somebody else tell us. This
Now
is
you're
the
you're bugging me
life
out.
of a caster. You have to remember all these random plugs for your cast on different days. Download Realm Royale on PTS, by the way.
Oh man.
And
Something,
download Realm on
something.
esports.smiteGame.com.
Gemstorm, something.
Ray, was that a troll, or did you just
Keemstar,
literally
no.
think it was esports.smiteGame.com?
His silence tells me
my
he goofed.
my producer just said esports.smikegame.com for downloading Realm. So go there. See if he's telling the truth or not. 50 seconds and a minute. Add it up. That's how long before this circle gets close.
Quick maths. That's quick maths there, Evan.
Listen, I tried to salvage that statement, okay? Give me a break. We're way off kilter. I'm trying to get us back.
Oh,
38 seconds and a minute.
No one else can bring you back on track faster than G Dolphin and Mikey. Who any frags? Very surprising to see that.
Oh, and round 3 is going to be very important. Obviously, we saw Bird have these heroic plays where he salvaged a couple of kills, tried to make it out, but could not do it. It was YN who approached that fight and made things happen. Onilike, FaZe, who got a positive one, looking like they're going to get a little bit more of a positive score, but don't count them out just yet. They are from Belgium. That's going to end it. Sony finding FaZe midair and another legendary heirloom in play. Will he pick it up?
Nope.
Will he have a chance?
Looks like it glazed right over. G Dolphin, though, is running a purple, so he might be able to pick that up. Get involved here. He's got his legendary concussion bomb as well. But no kills. They don't take a great trade there on the hillside, and they don't look like they're interested in actually pushing that further.
And you've got 2 eliminations. You're fine. There's 26 teams remaining.
Who was
Playing a
that?
little patiently. Mad Ruski finding Zap.
I was sick.
Nice.
He just Randy Orton's him off the top rope there with the concussion bomb as well. I love it. Beautiful.
Octane
Perfectly
Pro.
calculated to not take the heroic landing either.
Yeah, you got to be worried about that. You got to be real worried about that.
You got to think of a name, because heroic landing sounds positive, right? It needs a negative connotation.
But I mean, think about, you know, Superman or any hero, right? Because Crash is misleading, I think. But any hero that does that
What if
little,
you just fell flat on your face instead?
Heroic splatter. How about that? Heroic stumble. You can call that mid-fight. I mean, literally,
off the tongue.
I mean, Batman's great, but if homie lands with like a knee down and fist on the ground and waits for 3 seconds while like somebody's got a gun to his head, I don't know. I don't know if we're seeing Batman 3. I don't know. I don't know if that Trinity gets finished. Trilogy.
The Dark Knight tears his ACL.
Exactly.
No one wants to go see that.
The Dark Recovery.
The Dark Knight.
11
At
months.
least 6 to 8 weeks on crutches.
Yeah, 11 months in rehabilitation. That is not exciting. So we'll just let heroes be heroes, and we'll let Realm Royale players hopefully avoid the heroic splatter.
See, that's what you got to do. You got to charge just before landing to prevent your heroic landing. There are little things you can do.
He tried.
With each class.
He tried to blink right before to change it, but it still was hot, too high.
Too hot. Coming in hot.
How long are we going to talk about that moment? I mean, we've really belabored that.
Well, it's a good opportunity to point out the mechanics
Oh, nice shot.
of the heroic landing. And the
Whoa.
explosive flask in play here. Lass
Yeah.
bringing out all the stops.
Wow, that hit so clean.
Yeah, it did.
Lass has been training, I think, a little bit with Mage. And I know a lot of players have been training with Mage as well. Imtash, I know, has been training with Mage. Him and his partner Void looking to make some work with that. Cybate and Low One not playing Mage as well. Is that 2 warriors? Are they double warrior here? That's what the icons
sometimes
say.
that icon, a lot of times that icon gets bugged out.
Gotcha. Okay, so Engineer Warrior, as I would assume, I was going to say, veterans usually don't make that double class mistake. Notably, G2 Cuss going down, and just as, speaking of the devil, Imtash goes down. My God, my caster's curse is really on one today.
Shard that sniper as well. Definitely don't. I mean, there is going to be an assassin coming through.
Yeah.
That town at some point in the day. I don't know why you leave that up there. Prince Danny and Greg are rotating up the hill. Take down Zyphobia. Octane Pro probably around here somewhere. All alone. He's trying to get out of dodge. It looks like he will, but he's out of the frying pan and into the fryer here. He's headed towards 2 other duos.
Oh,
just a little bit further down the road.
That's an Achilles injury waiting to happen right there. Just hits the bottom of the toe, and it's Swindy. He's trying to salvage something for him and Sam, but he gets spotted out, and you would expect that they're not going to let him get out of this one too easily. But the Fog, it is maybe playing best friend to one of our British compatriots here as he heals up. No more armor potions, and not a lot of great gear. Check in with him later.
Anonymous and Afflux are leaders currently, sitting on no kills after, I mean, what got them here was a 9-kill game, so, yeah. It is what it is, though. Sometimes that happens. And, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, they're playing so safe now, because they probably just didn't run into good fights. Maybe they didn't see anyone.
I mean, and you again, I mean, my biggest thing is right here. It's like, you know, there's plenty of players left. There's 32 players left, Nick. There's no shortage of points in elims. 20 teams, sure. You know, you're getting 10 minutes in.
Right after I complain about that Northport finish. Where are we headed, brother?
Listen. The caster's curse is real today. Let's stay on point. 30 seconds remaining. Hodzik is just fine. So let's see if it works there. As Hodzik is hiding in that little room. And a lot of
killed
things
him.
rotating. You've done it.
You've killed him.
Not my man, Hodzik. Zombie Unicorns just cursing at me from the other side of the internet. Extra cool and owned. No elims, but rotating on the bottom side. Just out and about on the Raptors looking for members. And there is Hodzik. But he's safe for now. Not making enough noise.
How is Roxas so geared and extra cool?
2 forges, baby.
Is just not at all.
You know what?
He got the legendary slug, legendary helmet, chest, purple boots, and all my man Extra has to say, no helmet, literally running around at, you know, 12 minutes of no helmet.
You know what? Extra does have the legendary barricade, and that's what came from the forge. You can also expect one of those armor pieces as well. With no elims, you're right. I mean, a lot of looting had to go down.
Nice.
Nice shot there as well by Extra.
You don't need no gear. For shots like that.
They should get him. Oh, man.
What was that? I thought that was. Did you see that on the ground?
It was.
I thought that was a prox mine for a second.
Oh, I actually.
But that was like, that was an engineer running away from them. So
I did not catch it. That's a prox mine though. It should clean it up. He was overshot, so that does not find a kill there. Insong fighting Grego, Z1, and Danny. So this is an interesting fight.
Hello.
I believe this is a 3-team fight here.
Hit it with a shotty, Danny. Why are you carrying it if you're not going to use it now?
Do you want to know? Doing a great job holding it in, but it's Danny. Absolutely fantastic plays from him. He's got a good kit as well, Nick. The Legendary Flare, one of my favorites as a hunter, and the Withdraw. It's probably what I would go as my main loadout.
Vision's so good. Afflux and Anonymous here getting involved in their first fight of the game, potentially. And it looks like they will clean it up. Proxmine goes off somewhere in the distance, signaling that a hunter has fallen.
And the duration, you can see, Nick, the duration's still the same from common to legendary, as you mentioned. Last patch, they had some changes to the Ghost Walk, and at this point, though, the real difference, the scaling, is the movement speed. But he was so close, he didn't worry about it. Water in Realm can kill you, but not this kind of water. You can still fight here, at least in a decent range, and they're going to find a kill. And this is a Flux and Anonymous, the winners of last round. And there's Hodzik. Oh, what a shot! He peeks it, and Roxas looks to be the one who took him down. But oh no, Hodzik is in between, and they're going to find the kill. Roxas and Cool grab 2.
Oh my, oh my. There is a legendary slug in play, so the advantage there is you're able to just one-tap these chickens, even ones that aren't really yours, right? You're hiding behind a bush, you see somebody go down, you shoot your shot, right? You might score yourself and your team.
Yeah.
2 points shaved off of your final score. Last and Incon coming in with 6 as well, with 21 players left alive, 19 idiots for them to potentially take down. And this could be a big old game for the old Smite gang.
It could be a very, very big game. With 13 teams remaining, still 21 players. That's the number that matters in terms of the eliminations available. The 13 is the number that matters in terms of where you go out yourself as a team, because you're taking that score as a positive score and subtracting all of your eliminations from it. Eliminations being worth 2. That wall doesn't matter if it's so high up. Astra, who's Roxas, finding last as an Incon, but it does create at least a decent zone, and the fog is not in their favor. Oh no, the Hunger Games looking more and more real with the sword. It gets him. Wait, just over the ledge. I think he might fall back down. He does. Last is still in the fog. He's got to find a way out, Nick. I don't know if it's possible. He definitely has some of the defensive mechanics to do so, and Cookie Man can't hold this forever.
They got him pinned, but you're right. They do have to start moving. They have to get themselves out of this. 5 kills.
Sorry, our producer didn't recognize the Hunger Games reference I made with the odds not in their favor. Have you ever seen the Hunger Games, Brad?
How do you not?
That's like the only thing they say all movie long.
I volunteer myself as tribute to vouch for that reference.
And then they get all quiet. Then they don't say anything. They say something to me, and then they stop.
You won.
I didn't win. There's no winning here. We're a team. We're constantly just memeing off each other. Leaders could die. You're right. And I... Yeah, they absolutely... Our production's laughing here, as we're going to stay into it. I'm going to have my own ideas from now on. How about that, guys?
Think for yourself. Anonymous, just by the skin of his teeth. Where did Last and Incon get off to? It looks like, is that them coming out? Team
did they
26? That's not what you want to come out of the circle into. Looks like that might be them up on the hilltop. Gentle Giant and Collision here, trying to take down Anonymous here. The leaders now fallen. Lassus goes down as well. Cookie Man and Sony waiting for last in Incon, but it looks like Incon skirted away. I believe they are Team 26 there.
They are.
Olive Green brothers up there at about 11 o'clock on the circle. And Cookie Man and Sony will let them go, or at least Incon.
Is it possible to check in with them? I'd love to know what they have resource-wise, because that's a very interesting story here. They've got a lot of eliminations. And
also, how many kills did they get? Did they get those last hits?
Well, they've got 5 eliminations from
Sony
when I last checked in.
Sony and Cookie may have been able to scoop some of those because they have 6 now. And it was looking like last in Incon's round, but now Sony and Cookie Man so geared. Already 6 to their name. Still 12 other players outside of themselves, obviously, able to add to that total here. But this is low 1 and Side 8 that they're pushing on, a team that has looked really good so far today.
Round number 3 out of 8. Not 10.
Oh, God.
And a big fight about to happen. Cookie Man rushes into Kefri and overpowered, and this is not the angle you want to fight. Headshots galore. They're going to find that one. Cookie Man still alive. Sony looking to backtrack with him, and so this is great. They've got 2, and now Kefri has to push. He knows there's a chicken there, and that's great. Sony just buying so much time. Kefri could have tried to find the chicken, but Sony and him are just going to heal up, and I think Kefri has the advantage here. He knows he's got armor and health.
He's dragging his feet, though. He's not going for the heals.
He's going for the chicken.
Wants to pick this one up here.
That's
Sony
huge.
has been healing all the while, though, Evan, and now he's healthy. He's right on top of his teammate. Kefri, tough decision to make here, but these split seconds decisions are what is deciding this fight.
It's
now
so
Cookie
smart.
Man's up.
The reason is because they have the 2 to play for. I mean, Kefri already loses overpowered, so there's no overpowered coming back. And Cookie Man and Sony know we can win this game, man. We've got 7 eliminations. We are in a fantastic spot. They might find one there, but they are in trouble. Kefri is a chicken, but so are they. Low 1, Side 8 clean it all up. And they put themselves in a great spot, 5 elims, and now only 7 teams remaining.
Oh, what a risk there. He doesn't see Kefri. He rotates away from his teammate, and it all just starts to fall apart a little bit for Sony and Cookie Man. Now Side 8 and Low 1 looking like they're in a good spot, but Gentle Giant and Collision have 6 of their own. A lot of the teams still involved. Everyone's got like 5 or 6.
I mean, Insom and Mad Ruski. I mean, look at Insom here. I mean, he's got
They have
hits.
6.
He has got hits.
Everyone's got 6. You get 6, and you get 6.
I mean, elimination's clearly not going to be the distinguishing factor here. It's going to be placing. It's going to be who takes down who with 7 teams remaining. You know, you've got -12, but if you take 7 off that, it's only -5. So that's the big key. Whoever dies now is not going to get a lot out of their 6. And talk about 6. We've got 8 here with Lassus and Incon.
But get 6.
And Lassus has made it.
We talk about practice.
What a journey from him.
Prax 6.
Prax.
Try to make that work. We out here. Incon, though, with 8.
It's Incon. Okay, so Incon made it out.
Yeah, kill leading as well. Looks like they must have picked up a couple or maybe even both of those that they were hunting around for. Gentle Giant Collision. They've got 6.
9 players remaining. Fog about to move in. That circle is so small, so things are going to happen. Insom up top. He's got a ton of kills, but he's only a solo player. He's lost his teammate. What? Gentle Giant knows that there's a kill here. Yohelian goes down. That's another one, so make it 7 for team number 5. And they're both alive. 6 teams remaining now. 8 players left. Side 8 and Low 1. 5 eliminations. They were the ones who cleaned up that kill onto Kefri, onto Sony and Cookie Man. But it's Sony who actually is still alive, taking the tally of 7 with him. But he's going to get pushed on, I think, here.
The boy who lived. Incon is basically Harry Potter at the moment for me. And Low 1 just gets destroyed by 1 HP. Coming out of the fog. What a rotation. They've got, not 6, but 3.
But it's that
divisible by 6.
Exactly. It's that low latency, baby. He doesn't find this one. He gets taken down by Collision, but look at the Stone Spear action. And I love it. He goes in right after Gentle Giant because he knows he's going to get out later. But now he's going right into some more danger. The backfire, and this is not looking good. Sony most likely going to clean this one up. It's actually Side 8, excuse me, who's the warrior behind here. And that's 6 for him.
When he was sitting up on top of the hill, switching around with his weapons, I was about to make a joke about how we're going to see some Stone Spear swap coming through.
And he kind of did it.
And he did it, and I didn't get the chance to make the joke.
Because he died so fast.
You know,
10 eliminations.
When you see it right there, and then it just fades away.
Well, 2 teams, Nick. I mean, this is it. It's a 2v1.
Come on, Saib.
Can Saib do it? He's got all hit scan.
Nope. They know exactly where he is.
That's going to be important here for hitting these shots. He's going to jump in. He's got the charge, so he relocates. And he's hit one, but he can't hit another, and that's just so much damage. The headshot. It's deflating.
Yeah.
It's deflating. But, oh, boy, I think that was Gentle Giant and Collision who take the game.
With 11.
That's huge.
With 11.
Negative 22.
Yeah.
That's monstrous.
That
Negative
hurts.
21. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
What a round.
That's a lot they're shaving off there. And that headshot, even with that helmet, it doesn't matter. You saw the amount of damage that Legendary Slug did.
Yeah.
Even with the 50. Remember the time when that didn't have 50% reduction? That's when, my first day of Realm Royale, I remember I dropped in and I got one tapped from 2k HP with a slug, and I was just like,
huh. Very good.
This feels good.
That was an
I
excellent.
felt like I lost because I was the worst player.
That
there.
was an excellent player across from me.
I can now just get up from my computer and go about my day.
I mean,
with a full heart.
If Saib 8 hit those headshots, which he unfortunately couldn't, the heirloom doesn't work out for him in that favor. He would have been clearly a god. But that one headshot from the slug, I mean, that's going to do it every single time. Negative 21. Saib still pulls a great score. Last is an Incon. Still tie themselves for second here in terms of a negative score in that round.
I mean, we were joking about everyone's got 6, but that was like everyone there was in the top 10 with like 5 or 6 kills. So we get, I think, more negative scores than we've like ever seen in a round. So still in the lead by a couple points here. 10, Anonymous and Afflux, because they did still have a good game there.
Yeah.
Saib 8 and Low One, going to be close, hot on their heels. And an incredible game from Gentle Giant and Collision. Cuts the lead virtually in half.
I mean, Saib 8 and Low One, Mikey G. Dolphin, Sony, and, you know, his teammate just continually, you know, staying involved and being able to be a threat here in these standings. Notably, the Mixer boys are number 9.
They're climbing.
Not too far behind. Last is an Incon. I believe we're in that last
yeah, they had
bracket
8.
we saw.
They had 8, so they were looking good. And, I mean, the Mixer boys, they got their first round win in that 100K. And, you know, they had a rough first couple of weeks, let's just be honest. And then they started to climb a little bit, right? Then they get their round win in the 100K. Now they're getting close to being in the money in these tournaments. Before you know it, they'll be in there.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, now you're not really just playing for 1, 2, and 3, although that's where the large pricing is. That's where the multiple thousands of dollars. But 4 and 8, it is still paying out cash. It's still hard-earned cash. And I think that's giving a lot of players something to shoot for as well.
Look at the climbing here. Cookie Man and Sony, it's illustrating what we're trying to tell you. No one's really out of it, especially when you have a couple of great back-to-back games here. Look at the jump for Buddha and Daz. They jump, you know, 20 places. You look at Cookie Man and Sony, they're dropping 15 places around. Now they're in 4th overall. They're primed to take the lead with one more. And they're playing very well. I got to say, you know, they're looking really good just watching the way they're moving around the map and playing off each other. A lot of partner swapping here going on amongst some of the top players. So it's cool to watch, you know, who's coming out on top. And it's also like, who is that eating away at, right?
Yes.
Bird and FPS having a terrible day, right?
Really bad one.
Is it starting to eat away? Are you starting to second-guess yourselves on switching partners with having so much success with Kefri earlier on?
Questions to ask. We'll have to see how round 4 pans out. We are going to take it to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Rain Day, pretty air here for the Realm Royale 10K. We got about a minute. We'll see you right back here. Round 3, proving pivotal, but even more important now that there are no longer 10 rounds this week, but 8. So with 5 remaining, or I guess everyone matters the most for these players here as they go into this round 4 with a lot of, I think, expectation on their shoulders, a lot of bad performances, I will say, just being candidly, from teams we expected to be in the front.
Sure is. And, you know, nothing's unsalvageable at this point in the game. We've seen just especially in that graph, you see the amount of climbing that people can do in just one round. And with the cap, you know, that doesn't become impossible later on. These leads will still get big. You know, if you're just consistently bad, obviously you're going to fall super far out of it.
Right.
But with only a couple rounds behind us, it's still anyone's game. R.I.P. Beefy Noodle, the admin god, as he takes his plunge. The sacrifice that will kick off every good game of Realm Royale.
Well, it's interesting to see Lumberfall and Trinity, as the rounds go, become a little bit more contested. We saw everyone in round 1 playing what they felt was more safe, and this is pretty much close to the area that I was talking about. It might actually be the exact same house it is. There are 6 chests here, and there's a weapon chest in the middle. Really, really deadly fights because everyone is geared up. So if you come out on top of this, and again, I'll shift and finding 2 kills off the top ropes, and that's I mean, this is the second time they've dropped in this Jade area, Nick.
And that pisses you off, right? That you did all the work, you took all the poke, and someone else comes away with your 4 points. Shift and Slick, there is no honor in war here, so they're happy to do it. And they're happy to chase down whoever it was and put them in that spot. Bonker gets blindsided.
Yeah.
Koa's at 1 HP, and it's all over for them pretty much now.
Still, you know, you're out at the halfway point. Once this round is complete, you'll have 4 more rounds after that, and you'll be starting, you know, the second half. And for me, as a player growing up competitively, I would always just say, man, the second half can be whatever the first half happened. I'll get to that in a second. The second half can have the exact same thing. If you go down 5-0 in the first half, you can take somebody down 5-0 in the second half because they did it to you.
How many times did that happen to Kefri and Bird, right? They had like 3 bad rounds in a row because of like Shift and Slick taking them down, and just they evened the playing field basically.
And you were noticing both the NIP boys going down.
Cybe 8 killed them both. Wow. I don't know how much damage he did to both of them, but
Mouse Sports finally beats NIP.
That's a good looking screenshot if I'm Cybe 8.
That's right.
How many times has he had to
Paladin
hold the
scrim's
L?
Going well.
That's right. He's had to hold the L a lot of times in his past to those NIP boys, so it feels good to get one on him. Z1 Unknown, chicken down. Judabo looks like he's staying in this fight. He's going to try and defend his teammate. I think Weekend and Chapo both very healthy.
Yeah.
Weekend gets the angle. Z1 Unknown has already gone, so Judabo, with that, he will make his exit.
And they should know who this is, and they realize that this is a good player, and they realize this is a team that they're trying to get off the leaderboard. Every team they can secure, it's a positive point they won't have to take. So I really do think that they're going to try and chase that if they can. But Jitobo is very good at running away and making it to the end of the rounds. We'll see what happens. Mary, maybe will he or she Mary maybe hit her shots? Seems so.
Putting the moves on young Swindy there, and we'll be able to. You thought. Psych.
Well, I guess Wyan is also down. So at this point, they're both aware.
I don't know if Mary knew how close Sam was to coming out of chicken.
She had to. And I think Wyan had to be giving that information.
Maybe.
And that's why you saw her back off, because it didn't look like it was a play she was making. That wasn't the play you would, as a player, do unless you had information from a third party given to you. And that's why comms are so important. You know, that's why you're like, hey, man, I'm partnering up with my, you know, I'm going into duos in Realm Royale by myself and casual, and it's not even close to looking like what I'm seeing here. It's like, yeah, if you're not talking to each other, absolutely not. You will not have the same results. This fight just really lasting a long time, and finally it looks like Mary maybe is getting caught out here. Sam and Swindy just holding the barn and now rotating on the east side of it.
Wyan puts a good tag onto Swindy, though, punishing him for poking out his teammate, and ultimately...
Ooh.
Mary, maybe, you know, this team comes out on top of that trade, pulls the purple boots, 200 effective health, which is going to matter in these fights in the early game because you don't have a lot of things to heal with. Wyan has no healing left, but is healthy, so he's still in a position to fight if they feel like chasing it down.
Also outside of the circle, so movement will come in handy if this fight extends and they have to chase around the fog. It's going to be Mary maybe who has the advantage mount-wise as well. Wyan with a dodge roll, trying to get out of there, but it's Runna who cleans in. And for Wyan and Sam and those two teams, it seems very simple for Runna and Stanton to finally put an end to the shenanigans over here near the Autumn Fields.
Yeah, you've definitely got your teams that they don't play around too long. They like to get in there and make a play. Get it done or get out, right? They don't like to kind of beat around the bush with it. You'll be able to see very clearly that Runa and Stanton are one of those teams. They come in, they take that fight, and then they move on. Doesn't look like they're going to sit here for too much longer. Looks like Bird did pick up a kill. Chapo and Weekend rotate to Fungal to square off against Danny and Grego.
You know, you can't become Alexander the Great by chilling in the one city that you overtake.
Yeah.
You got to keep on moving. And the aggression oftentimes is paid well as far as what you get in return.
Wow.
In Realm Royale. Floating up. Grego, again, using the secondary thrust that was added to the Engineers last week. Prince Danny TV just
so alone.
Gonna find Chapo.
Where is
Weekend? Figure it
Weekend?
out, and now he knows Weekend is around somewhere, and he's from the top ropes. Weekend trying to finish off the chicken for sure, just to get the trade.
You know, I think right as that fight started to happen, the only reason I could think of as to why Weekend was that late. Does he not actually? Oh my goodness, Danny pulls it out. Oh, I didn't even feel the need to cast that fight because I thought it was so over in favor of Weekend. Wow. And Danny just lets him know.
I mean, that's what's going to... Danny was about to run away.
Somebody clip that from Danny's stream. I know he's popping off.
Danny was about to run away.
Right now. I know he's popping off. I need to see that.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. Oh, my goodness. What a fight.
Yeah, great stuff from him. I mean, he stuck with it. And again, he was going to run away. And I think he trusted his instincts. Like, nah, man, just fight. Like, go through the wall, apparently. As that is a little bit higher than I think it was intended to be. Maybe some stuff still there, but not visually. Either way.
Ooh, yeah.
Cookie Man is gonzo.
Sony just can't afford to stay there much longer. He has to give up the angles on his teammate, who his aggressors are now healing up. So that's an opportunity. That's time for Sony to either get an angle or disengage, and it looks like it will be the latter here. Bird and FPS fly right, and judging by the crouched into the wall position there, it looks like Hay de Grey is just doing his thing, hiding behind a chest, and look at where he's at in the circle too. He's playing the long game here, the long con behind that potion chest.
Also in Goblin Gulch, interesting little, you know, standoff there with Low One and Cyve8 and G-Dolphin and Mikey. So those two teams definitely in the top 5 and very close to each other. So if one takes an L early, that would be huge. Oh man, Void. Imtash in such a bad spot here. They have the fog, and that's good for FaZe, and only like to be able to move with it and give Void and Imtash just a second of reprieve from the constant onslaught of bullets. And there's not too far to go. You can make this, but
it's straight uphill.
A steep climb.
Climbing Everest here, and FaZe just looking for the angle to get himself in the circle.
Oh.
Just barely breaches it. Void and Imtash.
Good luck, buddy.
Running out of healing, running out of angles, running out of time. It's an early game circle, though, so it's not hitting super hard at this stage of the game. The Mage player does have Soar, but is still not comfortable, as you can clearly hear.
Lassos and Incon as we follow along with him towards the southwest side of the map with 23 teams remaining. Very near Game Hunter and 420 Brain. Only one elim for them, and Lassos seems to know exactly where they are. And he's got the sword, but he's also got a common sword. Not to be confused with a sword, a common sword. So if he uses that mobility to get in there, it's 14 seconds before he can get back out. It's very risky.
Legendary Fireball here.
Just missed.
My man Drew's about to go full Battle Mage. His teammates got, this is the perfect moment. Sneak up on the flank. Slice him and dice him, dude. Give him the violence, the speed, and the momentum. I want to see it so bad.
Oh, no. Nicky's missed the Hunter, excuse me, the Fireball like 3 times. But look at Incon with the burst. Okay, buddy. Young fella popping off, and now the Fireball doesn't miss from point-blank range. Lassos notably, as we followed him, missing a couple of shots, but Incon salvages that round by chickening the aggressor midair.
I love that, like, Incon comes in, puts in the work, he's chasing down the second kill, and Lass is just like scooping up loot in the back in the background.
Incon's like, where's the loot from the guy I killed? He's like, what do you mean, man? I chickened him. I mean, I killed him, actually, with the Fireball.
What loot?
It's so weird. He didn't have anything. Uh-oh.
Here we go. Now, hit that blink. Oh, my God. That was clean. That was clean.
JJD doesn't even worry about the heroic landing. He's like, I'll actually enjoy that time to reflect on how good my shots were.
And it looks pretty sick after you get the kill, too.
Unfortunately, we don't see the effect from our spectator of what it looks like to actually do it, but it just looks like he's standing still, which admittedly is not the coolest posture.
And this, Evan, right where he just jumped off.
Fun cave.
I feel like one of those like history tour guides.
Yeah.
Right? And over here on our right, we're in the beta trailer for Realm Royale. You actually see the assassin sniping a couple of dumb chickens from.
The assassin sniping a couple of dumb chickens as we make our way down the fog. As you'll notice, moves in on the map every couple of minutes or so.
You've got the mom lagging back, taking photos with her iPad Pro.
Remember
like a 21-inch screen up in the air, just like, oh, hold on a second.
Like I said, no need to take photos. We've got a professional photographer here. So just you could put that down as we move our way towards a fun area. You're going to find Crossing, notably where Mopork and Synergy are actually hiding. not forging at all. So this is really just camping this area to make sure that, you know, hey, stone spear in hand, why do you need anything else? Most likely forged here, Nick, and are just waiting because they saw some potential players who might want to start some trouble on the other side.
Koa. It's time to ride here. He throws up his barricade, though, and gets out of dodge. And it's definitely time to ride out of this. Tries to throw the needle, but just barely catches the staircase. Now it's Koa. If we turn this one around, he doesn't have the armor to play with, though, and he will fall.
That's not a good score for him. And I believe Bonker.
I don't think they had any kills either.
We head over to Underpass. And JJD, okay. Let's see if he can keep making plays here, because Untitled is representing him in FaZe. So that's a team. JJD has Imtash and Void, who have been apparently just making their way a very long way through what has got to be a collision closely with the Fog. Imtash doing his best to just find a kill on the Untitled, and JJD may do well to just start aggressing onto them right away.
Ooh, they saw him.
He missed his moment. He
definitely did. That's a lot of what I don't see, though. It's just like the decisive, like, I'm a solo player against these two. They just got in a skirmish. There's the chance, and this sort of happened, that Untitled didn't do any damage to either of them, right? So I just push into a 2v1 and die. He doesn't want to take the risk, but just leave immediately, right?
Yeah.
Don't even let them know that you're there.
Exactly.
And looks like they definitely just rotated in through Underpass, crafted some armor potions, because they were not doing good for healing. They were definitely worse for wear earlier when Untitled and FaZe had them pinned down. I don't know where FaZe died, but he did, and Untitled was definitely all alone there.
I mean, it's amazing how well they showed decisiveness in that moment, too, because they were getting aggressed on, right? And that was just saying, hey, screw it. That guy's around there, but we see a guy right here. Let's just 2v1. Let's see what we can do. We may die. We've been pushing against the Fog all game long, but let's just get as many eliminations as we can. And it works out for them. And that's what you'll see over and over again. Sometimes aggression, sure, you bite the dust, but a lot of times it pays dividends for you.
Lack of hesitation is super important. Kind of in anything, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You used to say a bad plan executed perfectly. And it's kind of along those lines, right, where you just don't give the enemy guys any time to react or think about what they want to do because you're already in their face.
Low work, synergy.
Oh yeah!
A little bit of a fireball there.
That was a lame. That's like a white fireball.
Yeah, it didn't look like it did too much damage there. And that's a smoke screen just helping the rotation, but Void is going to hear the sound cue, and he just stops the healing. So that's a really nice trade. He does some damage, he stops the healing, and he heals himself. So this is overall a fight that's shifting slowly towards synergy. Imtashed and him. Void trying to just run away and reposition.
A Flux and an Anonymous take down Bird and FPS reps again. So they're going to get 16, 17 added onto their score. Synergy and Mopork working their way up. The Frost, Stone Spear, the movement speed slow. You get tagged once by this bad boy, and you are in a rough situation.
Ooh, and he got a gold soar. And you know what? He was working with a white, was he? I think it was a white or a rare soar. So one of the best parts about getting that kill was mage-on-mage combat. That was not something we would have seen, Nick, 2 weeks ago in Realm Royale.
And look at them. They're coming out in force today.
Yeah.
It's like most teams have the mage now coming through, and that's going to, we talked about it a lot, just being able to do that. Looting abilities from similar classes, it's a positive feedback loop that makes any class that comes more into the meta stronger just by a factor alone of being more in the meta.
I know, it's crazy. It's like the more money you have, the more money you can make. I wonder where else that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely want to go ahead, scoop this. You've got time. Browse the loot. You've got your legendary sword, brother. You can just get out of there.
That's right. Plenty of time. Oh,
wow.
Not a lot for Winston there. And the aim wasn't quite on par. At least it wasn't fast enough. Inta and Winston with 4 eliminations. And so this is actually a really, really decent spot for them. But they're going to go down. JJD with the kill with the fire sniper. So JJD, despite not taking the fight over with Imtash and Void, is still alive with 5 eliminations. Make that 6!
Man,
and some style points as well.
There it is.
Wait, Epic Slug. He just passed an Epic Slug. He's going to fight instead.
Uh-oh.
Why not pick that up? Why not pick that up?
He is just adrenaline
Dude, he's in the zone
right now. He says, all I need is a sniper.
Well, that's
Give
wild.
me that.
If he wasn't using a green slug, I'd say, okay, he just didn't want that weapon. But he's literally using a worser version of something that was right there.
We hit those.
Nice shot from Runna. Only 18 players remaining, 13 teams now in round 4. This is going to mark the end of, this is going to mark basically halftime in the game. Once this ends, and we are poised to get a new winner in this game than we have before.
Slick, still alive. Is Shift alive?
I'm not sure.
Looks like he might be. JJD, though, he's the big storyline here. All 6 kills for his team. He knows someone's there. He's playing for the angle right now. And man, when's the last time you saw a Lumberfall ending? I feel like we never get these in tournament, and
wow.
That was a headshot.
My man.
That was a headshot there. That did massive damage to Yohelen. And the dot, even with the dot, wasn't enough to take him down. That's 2,300, assuming he has no helmet, which is possible.
The biggest issue I have with JJD's play, because he's come in as he's stormed into our conversation because of how well he's been doing, his avoiding of some of those fights, some of the cleanup he's done, and already has 6 eliminations, is he's not checking his south. He's got a player to his south. He's team 19. He's got someone team 11 right there, and also team 24 to his basically southwest, or I guess south and east. So he's got to be very careful. 11 pushing in onto JJD, and he doesn't know it. Like, this late, why not ride the fog? He's going to get collapsed on here.
He's just owning right now. He's hitting shots. Standing is under pressure. Runa, teammate's still alive. Late game circle.
Look at this.
So he's going to get choked.
It's Mo.
Creeping. Crawling.
I mean, Jay, you got to be checking.
He's looking.
He hears it
he
now.
knows. Okay, now we're going to have a fight.
But he doesn't know where that went, and that's what was interesting about it because of the smoke screen. He didn't take any actions afterwards, so JJD just healing up in the barn.
You know, big storyline we haven't talked about yet today. Clow and Andister split up after that performance. Puts big burst damage in on a Sony. Sony gets his shielding potion off and is just trying to heal at this stage of the game. Does he get choked out by the fog here? He will. He will have to come out.
He's going to charge, though.
JJ's going to try and hold him in here as long as he can. He's just hitting everything.
I mean, this man definitely is confident. You know what I mean? He's definitely confident. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony could play spoiler here in this moment as well. Jatobo looking to hit his shots. But boy, oh boy, JJD.
Who is this?
Who is this man?
He's hitting everything. He's just slaughtering some of the biggest names in Realm Royale.
Oh! So Sony plays spoiler, but then Sony gets chicken from far away. It's just Running and Standa who have such good positioning here in this final circle, Nick. And Ruski and Insam are on the high ground, too.
People checking chests now. People are starting to just shoot chests when they come into rooms. I like...
Headshot them chests, boy.
When you do that to Sony, you put that pressure on him, you hit him with your concussion bomb, take a tick or two of fog damage just to
finish him.
And almost everyone...
Yeah, because he's the one who kills you, right?
Hangs out for like 3.
It's a bummer.
That's hindsight, sure, but 3 to 5 seconds, people start to get tense and want to move when they're in the fog, right? I don't think Sony just goes stone cold there and just heals for like, I don't even know how much healing he's got at that point.
Right.
I think you hold that angle a little bit if you're JJD. Again, hindsight, I know it's 2020.
Yeah.
He played incredible start to finish in this game.
He probably, you know, was hoping maybe I would have got that slug, right, as well, that epic slug. That might have changed things. Insam in big trouble here. He's got to time it out, 1 shot, but he actually gets the chicken, and that's Runa and Ruski. And again, I mean, Runa and Standing, man, how good of a position do they have, Nick? It's only Ruski who's up top, so he's still representing that team of Insam. And now Ruski has the vision of what Insam saw, which is basically Runa's team holding that room. Oh boy, nice shots.
2v1 here from Ruski.
Oh,
frankly, so far so good. Ruski beginning just one more of these. He takes down Cybe 8. Goes for the reload here. Gets caught on the hill. And Low One is able to bail him out. What an attempt by Ruski.
I mean, he was if he didn't take one more shot, he was 1 shot away from 2v1ing in that situation. What an incredible showcase of skill. 820 Jet, Book of Kin, fighting with 2 eliminations. He's going to pick up all the mage loot, and he knows that was a mage that went down with Imsam because he was fighting them earlier.
A lot of big names still here. Low One and Cybe 8. They'll get back up. They'll be healthy again.
He's close.
Ruski as well. Cybe 8 just barely makes it out of the zone.
Oh, he saw her.
He gets the info there.
Yeah, he knows. Oh, man, nice shots
I love
there.
that play.
Beautiful.
I love that.
But who's going to get the kill? That's the question. And this is really serving as the bait for the rest of the lobby, right? Who is going to jump out? Now he knows where at least 2 other angles are from players in the lobby. Who's going to jump out to try and finish it? And that's what Standing does. And it does hurt him here. Runa, Standing,
8.
Fighting, but 9 eliminations for Cybe 8 and Low One. And Low One finds that kill. So it is looking really good for this duo yet again.
The high ground, the potion launcher, the frost enchantment, you have to say.
Not even a second ability?
Low One is living good at the moment. Doesn't need it.
There's a barricade right there. He literally is not picking it up out of spite. Oh, sorry.
Turret.
Because I think of Barrack all the time when I think of those turrets.
I like the play. I respect it.
This is like
That's an engineer I can get behind.
designers. Look at this, please. You have the ability to take it. You're not even taking it. And this is a final circle for money. Something needs to be done about that or changed or whatever, because players clearly not valuing it at this point.
Yeah, it's super useless. Just straight up, even at like legendary rarity. Mopork, he's looking like he's probably going to go down here, but in the chaos, low one and Cybate get both of them. And with the kill on Aruna here, Runa's not very healthy. Heroic landing slows it down, but it's just slowing down the inevitable here. Incredible finish for low one inside.
Never an easier round I think I've seen, sir.
That's the best. That's the spot you want to be in late game Lumberfall. And fish in a
all
barrel,
down there,
frost
man.
potion launcher.
Yeah.
It's easy breezy.
That's crazy, too. I mean, the ability for them, sure, they showed off some mechanical skill. They showed off some, and okay, let's say the turret is that bad that they don't even pick it up as a second ability, but maybe they're just that confident because they have such good position.
Yeah.
They know that they have to come out and play or climb up and play because they've got the circle with them.
Turret's that bad. It's pretty much. I mean, really the turning point there. There could have been a good fight here.
Sure.
That could have been a quick cleanup, make it a 2v2. That's still not a great spot for Ruski and Insom to be fighting out of. But the big, or excuse me, not Ruski. Ruski's ability to maybe play a spoiler there. He gets stalled out in the air, he misses like one shot, and then he gets caught by low one there. I'm surprised the second he gets that killing blow, he doesn't like turn and try and break line of sight downhill somewhere. Again, a lot of hindsight commentary here, but that's what we're here to do is have the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Ruski could have, I mean, that would have been one of the hottest 2v1 outplays because that's both of them
That
there.
was it, yeah.
Both of them full HP. He puts a tremendous Herculean air, and at that point, I don't know. They're in such a good spot. They have the best positioning left on the map. The game kind of ended for me there with that fight with Ruski.
I honestly think it ended more so for Ruski when Insom went down because that was such a difficult spot for her to go down. She was soaring to try and get information, and she ended up taking so much damage, she immediately ice blocked, fell all the way down. And then it's like,
Is that what that mage loot pile was from?
Yeah, that was from Insom. And so super interesting. A -23, highest score of the game.
They're the leaders now. They've got to be. There's no way.
Insom and Ruski still great score. Mopork as well. And look at, yes, Anonymous and Flux, 13th place.
It's big fraggers.
But 7 eliminations and a -1 score. Last is an Incon, notably, only a +2 score as well, despite placing 12th. So far, so good.
Kind of hanging in there again. 11 up on the board for
Much
Bird. Is it?
You don't need much better. You need amazing now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, with 20 as the worst you could do, plus 11's not great. And that's what you expect from Bird at this point. And whoever he chooses to be with, frankly, I've been a little bit unimpressed with FPS reps today. I don't think I've seen much from him, and they've just been falling round after round very highly. But granted, so have Kefri and Overpowered, so maybe it's just rebuilding week, so to speak.
You're saying FPS reps needs some more FPS reps?
Perhaps.
Well, that's what's in his name, so he's clearly going to get them. So, plus, it's first week. You know, you expect some trips, some falls, some stumbles, yet it's been a little bit more than just a stumble. Pretty disappointing performance there thus far, but it is halftime, and whatever happens in one half can happen in another half. So just as if you had a horrible half this round, you can have a great half, and other teams can have a horrible half in the second round. So it is not over by any means. This is just the standings where we have them now. You got to play this one till the end to get the money.
Yep, and we are going to be paying out the top 8 today, so that's fun.
Yeah,
everyone will be able to kind of get themselves a little bit more piece of the pie. I believe it's only $400 or $500 for 5th through 8th.
Yeah, $500.
But it's something to play for. I really like the way that these tournaments are heading.
3-4 hours, you know, $250 a teammate. Oh man, plus you're streaming. I mean, it's easy peasy, man. I love it, and I think players are really going to be happy about this one. We're going to go on a quick break here at Realm Royale. Rain Day and Pretty here with you. We'll be right back after this.
So we're back here for round number 4, or 5, excuse me. We're past the halfway point. Only doing 8 rounds today as opposed to the 10 that we've normally done. Cybate and Low One. Now our leaders after that absolutely incredible game. The best of the day so far. 12 eliminations and first place. -23 off of their already incredible score line. They were already, I believe, in the top 8, in the money, which is today we are paying out the top 8 people. So we're all good. Our plane straight north to straight south. Everyone will have an opportunity to get where they want to go. We'll have to see if there's any major switch-ups here. We've seen a decent diversity throughout the top teams today as they kind of move around. Game number 3, there was no one central to the major hotspots. Game number 4, there was a lot of people there. Now we'll have to see what happens at game number 5.
There's really no esport like it right now. I mean, you talk about battle royales in general. You take the big landscape, and you compare it to normal sports, and you can compare certain esports right now to normal sports. But here, you know, a half of a game that takes, you know, even at this round 8 level, 2 hours to complete. There's not that type of endurance, I think, in most competitive games like this required. You talk about those best of 7 sets, maybe, but even those usually done within 3 hours. So a 4-hour kind of experience, there's a lot of mentality shifts that go with it. There's a lot of just strats that have to be discovered and you have to outlast your opponents here. As Jitobo finds an early kill on the Chapo, which is helpful, although Z1 does fall. This team looking just a complete shade of themselves from their previous week of winning the 10K.
You have to say that he managed to pick up both Weekend and Chapo there, but it did cost him his teammate. Runa, Standen, Shift, and Slick all in their spots. Shift and Slick, I wonder where they will rotate to. It looks like they're headed down towards Sentinel for the time being. Runa, I don't know if they know Runa and Standen are hot on their heels. Doesn't change the fact that they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they're going to get the info now that this has been looted, as you see a big fight happening over towards the outskirts of, I believe, Cold Mist Village. I don't think that's as close to Ice Haven as I would have thought. That would be a little bit northeast. But right now, Epidary, Zap fighting in. Oh, and it's Baggins in that corner. I mean, unless he's an engineer and he's got himself a barricade or a firebomb, it's going to be tough to get out of. They have to smoke screen, try to get some shots, but this is tough.
I want to see the firebomb go in and then the wall go up.
Yeah,
you just light them on fire and then seal them in their tomb.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? We got to see that. Diggy Dog finding a kill on the awning light, though.
Yeah, FaZe killed Bird earlier, though, so that's a 1-for-1 in that fight. Wherever it's happening, and the ceremonial Keemstar, haha. Golden Slug Rifle already in play as well.
All right.
How?
I mean, Baggins is a good player, man. And I was going to say great, but I'm honestly, I haven't seen him play much, but I know he streams so much for us. He puts a lot of time into this game. You know, he's not going to make mistakes like that. You're going to have to outplay him for sure. He's not going to give it up easy. Let's put it that way. Headshots from Opork. That's talking about giving it up easy there from Buddha. As he finds enlightenment, or at least finds something close to it, maybe a little bit of epinephrine, as he finds the kill.
Bird and FPS reps here. Again, Mary maybe coming back to the spot. They want to try their luck again. Bird has fought here so many times, though. I definitely just expect an innate advantage here.
Oh, man.
FPS takes that shot, finds it onto Wyan. Gives the information that he is there as well. And great right shoulder peeks here onto the low ground here. Mary maybe getting chased out. A good start to this fight from Bird and FPS.
And what happens, though, in this fight, the reason it's not easy for Bird and FPS is their composition against Mary Maybe and Wyan. Although they find a great rotation and it's just the numbers advantage right there, Wyan always comes out on top with this because he plays the Hunter, he plays more cautiously, but he's got the flare, and Bird does not run sensor drone on his assassin. So the vision is absolutely in favor of Wyan and Mary Maybe, but it ends up being Bird just out-aiming and outpacing them.
Here comes Runa and Standen now. Bird and FPS aren't out of the woods yet. Very healthy with healing as well as some decent firepower. Bird thankfully does have his forge was completed. He has his legendary smoke screen to play with. And it's going to be a small potatoes advantage here, but an advantage nonetheless.
Yeah, and this is important, right? When you hold the forge, when you get the loot, when you make the fight, you have an easy way to get those legendary items online, and even a legendary weapon. And it's just, there's not a lot of places. You have to come here purposefully. You're not going to see the forging here. You're not going to see the smoke and then have something go down. As Runa jumps up, jumps down, pops the healing totem as well, switches to the slug rifle and looks for a couple of shots that do miss. He doesn't have the chance to do another one, though, because he gets sniped from Bird. FPS reps in him looking much better this round, holding their ground here at the start of round 5.
Smoke screen's going to go down. Plenty of time in stealth for Bird to work with. Gather information about where he wants to go next. He's getting ripped from the side. FPS has to defend him.
And look at this. I mean, this is where we're going to see the test of FPS reps, right? He's going to get on the mount. You know Standon is close by, and he gets the first shot. That's huge. Standon has much more sustain, so he's got to take the fight now. And a barricade. Yeah. That's how you use it, ladies and gentlemen. You put yourself in a vulnerable spot. You make them think, oh, I can kill him. And then you hold yourself accountable with that. But look at this. Somebody comes out of nowhere.
Runa got back up middle of the fight, and now he's able to defend his teammate just in time and take down Birds. Bird will be back up. Bird will be able to just disengage here if he wants.
I mean, didn't he get hit with a fire?
He did. Yeah, he did hit it and a crossbow
That was such a huge throw. That was insane. Runner. Oh, my gosh. Absolutely
Bird's
taking
gonna fight this?
The wind out of the sails of Bird and FPS Reps, who was just about to say, I saved the day.
This just feels unlike them. Given, like, the first couple of weeks when we were watching Bird and Kefri play, when one of them would go down without hesitation, the other would leave. The other would just stay alive.
And the way Kefri said it, Bird wanted to try their options. You know, it wasn't a negative thing, but Bird was the one who wanted to. And I think if you're Kefri and you're looking at it, and if I'm just an outside player, nothing against Bird, but I think Kefri definitely set the tone for that team much more than Bird did. Mechanically, they both equally contributed, but Kefri, how many times do we see him lasting, just somehow being alive, somehow being the guy at the end and getting those clutch kills? It just feels like the aggression early, maybe Bird doesn't have that slow play attached to him anymore.
Shielding push goes down. Yohelen is lost, though. He has no idea where his opponent has gone off to. It's Incon on the low ground now, has some time to heal. Reload speed, health regen, all things Yohelen is working with.
Now Incon's breaking ankles. Is that what it says?
Suppose so. It's just part of what you need to play on that team.
Gotta make sure.
Smite is a lot about the juking, right? That's what really differentiates it from other MOBAs.
It certainly is. It is a lot about you. You're right. Man, that's the worst when you shoot somebody like 8 times and they juke all of them. You just get in that bad rhythm. Yohelian right now trying to get in any rhythm that doesn't require him losing armor. Incon.
Yeah, he doesn't know, but Incon has no armor here.
Wait, that went through?
Yohelen has the advantage here. Incon shouldn't win this fight. He doesn't. Not in the way, that didn't happen the way I wanted it to prove my point, but it did nonetheless. Yohelen he had armor potions, he had shield potion, he had his charge to do free damage, as well as just completely duck something from Incon as well. He ends up going down there nonetheless. Just took a little bit longer than it should have.
Also, it might have been a visual thing, but his animation for doing his repair armor kit potion was actually not completed when he got hit by the concussion bomb. Moved, and then he gained the 400 health after he landed.
Oh, he did?
So,
just barely got it off, maybe,
yeah,
then?
it's either barely got it off, and just it's like one of those heroic splatter, heroic leap, heroic fall situations here, which he will see. Ooh.
So that's it. When you see a player just like land like that and just apparently stand still or visibly just stand still, it means they've hit that heroic landing threshold. It's just not properly displayed in Spectator.
Okay, Wall and Keva Flash moving on. 20 teams remaining as Cookie Man finally kills Chitobo. Game Hunter with an easy kill on a Keva Flash. And he sees his teammate. He's going to throw the blast shot, and that was just
going for it.
Really going for it here, but he's got 420 Brain working with him here. Trying to find the angle, but they still have not been able to take him off the mount.
Done a couple of, a little bit of forging here. Clow and JJD, 2 already. Frankly, pretty good armor situation here for JJ. Decent firepower as well. Definitely's got what he needs to fight, chasing through the baby underpass here.
I'm gonna be very impressed if JJD can have another good round. I mean, he really stormed up in terms of the conversation for us as casters and as viewers last round, and I wonder if he will continue to do it. It's these little moments that are going to test him. Gentle Giant Collision, huge win for them. -22, I believe.
You know, it is those no-name guys that you never really seen before. They don't always have 6 kills like that, but even if he had 0 kills, you kind of just watch the way that he is playing the game, and you're like, okay, that guy's a player.
He knows what he's doing.
He's moving decisively. He's hitting all his shots. There's no hesitation there, which is just something I love. When you don't hesitate and a guy goes in, knowing what he wants to do and does it just right there on the spot, I love that. And it just looks like you're so much more confident, right? The first time you hit a big shot onto someone, time to kill is pretty low in this game, right? So it's easy to get people to panic if you move about the map with purpose.
Well, the purpose has to be getting into the circle now with 7 seconds remaining before the fog starts to move. Whenever that exclamation point with the yellow surrounding color turns red, and you see the fog converging sign in the middle, the fog will start to move, and you'll have that amount of time, 1 minute and 14 to get there before you start taking damage. Still round 5 out of 8, not even close to being done. 34 players alive. Zombie Unicorn now getting a little bit of damage onto her. And Hotsick.
That's Ken.
Oh my gosh. Hotsick and Book of Kin maybe about to face off.
I didn't see. I think we were on Ken's cam for a second, and I didn't see his teammate, so I wonder if his teammate even connected to the game.
I think I actually thought I.
Somebody's team UI looked like it was just solo dolo there, but
got it.
If anyone's gonna go lone wolf, it's gonna be JJD.
It's gonna be
Ken.
Yeah, I was gonna say Book of Ken. Totally true. Or JJD. Book of Ken already had that amazing performance. I mean, you got to say his performances have been better when he's been by himself.
Honestly, yeah.
And that is
I've
not
actually
a good
never
stat.
seen him succeed with his teammate.
That is not a good stat to have. So they need to definitely.
Could you imagine if there
up.
was a guy that just played in the duo tournaments by himself?
That would be so sick. He just only queued solo versus duos. He'd be famous, man. He'd be super famous.
But what if you just didn't? If you did that, is it enough to just do that, or do you have to have some semblance of
Oh, no,
success?
you got to succeed. Like, place in the money, place top 8, place, like, top 5.
You just walk around like a badass, even though you're like 30th every time. I would play these by myself.
That would be so crazy. That'd be crazy. Honestly, like that. What a good publicity stunt, too. I mean, you would catch fire on your streaming platform, whichever one that would be. For sure, everyone would want a piece of that. Untitled Chapter finding K-Wolf. Kefri doing his best to shoot uphill, but it's very, very dangerous. This is a common ghost watch. He's not going to get very far, but he will still stay invulnerable for 3 seconds. And now he knows Collision is facing. What a beautiful concussion bomb. And that's a rare quality, but Kefri's getting chased. Collision takes him down, and Overpower now trying to maybe help out. He knows his teammate is in trouble. Another concussion bomb, and they find the kill, but Collision most likely going to go down. It's Overpowered who finds Collision after that.
It's messy, though. There's a lot of teams involved, very close by. You can see the majority of the lobby is like over in this little corner trying to stay alive during this fungal fight. Kefri is down. Overpowered is here. The ice block just to buy him some time to hopefully make it out of this alive. Overpowered is not able to do so. He will fall 19th place. A rough shake.
I mean, and now Grego and Danny can clean a couple up. I mean, they're going to at least get one. JJD comes over and finds Overpowered out of nowhere. So JJD getting in on the action. And where's Cloud? Can he help? JJD again looking to do some stuff for his squad. And Danny has the vision with the flare, but he's just going to heal up right now. And JJD has been chickened, it looks like.
I mean, Danny does a couple of like split. He hits like, it almost looked like just a reaction, an impulse took over for Danny. He hits this shot as he's like trying to dodge route, so his mind is trying to get him out of there, but the Androxys in him is like, one more flick, one more as I exit stage right.
Yep.
Which ends up being whoever ended up putting him down. You know, that 560 damage or whatever Danny was able to do was definitely helping him to do that, as well as he shards a potion launcher as he's rolling out.
Super smart play.
Even in that chaos, Danny's keeping a pretty cool head and doing a lot of little things correctly.
Man, I remember we were playing casuals, and we played against this one casual guy, and it's a hunter game. I don't have my bow. I'm waiting. We kill this hunter. He drops, and this assassin who we're fighting at, riding his mount over, gets off the mount. We don't know what he did, and then mounts away. Freaking disenchants his teammate's hunter's bow. And we're like, that was a 200 IQ play right there. He still dies, but he makes sure I can't get it in the process. And that's what Danny did there, essentially, saying, any engineer who comes over here, I'm not letting you get ahead for free. Very, very smart play.
Potion there. Stan gets a lot of that. Just kidding. I think he thought that was a shielding potion. But maybe. A good kit here. I mean, he's got the purple leap, the gold shield pot, as well as just that little bit of healing potion there. Anonymous, 1 kill, 1 for his partner. He's on a mushroom. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
He's on a mushroom. A mouse is on a mushroom.
Do you shoot this? Or you just kind of...
What things are you seeing if that's what you're describing right now?
You may have just consumed a mushroom.
Exactly. You may have... Exactly. What have you been eating? If that's what you're describing right now. Or you may just be watching Realm Royale Esports. 15 teams remaining. It does get a little crazy here in Fungal Forest. Have not seen a lot of games end in this area.
Love this. We get a lumber ending. We get a fungal ending.
Really, a lot of variety.
Very variety endings today. And these are, you know, it's not just like this hill with some trees versus that hill with some trees. That's not, that doesn't define Northport, Lumberfall. Ending in these POIs gives the game a very distinct feeling of an ending.
Yeah, it just feels like it was so different from the earlier week, like the first week where it feels like 6 out of 10 games ended in Northport. I don't know why
I agree.
or how, but
I
it
definitely
really
agree.
did feel that way.
I feel that way as well. 5 kills there.
This is not a bad spot for Anonymous, but it gives him vision, but what it trades off is obviously the fact that he's able to be shot from multiple angles, and his head is exposed on some of those angles as well.
He's got to move pretty soon here. Not kidding. I think it's the right play to play quiet here. He's not kidding. Book of Ken, just a very lackluster round. No loot, no kills. He goes down 14th. And you hate to see it.
You hate to see it. The Book of Ken will end with that final chapter. And maybe he'll write, you know, Book of Ken Part 2.
I need a sequel. Yeah, that was
Book
very
of Ken Part 2,
anticlimactic.
you know, with a partner this time.
First throwing axe of the day as well. Seen a decent amount of stone spears, decent amount of potion launchers. Honestly, not as many sniper rifles as I'm used to.
Yeah.
But that's the first throwing axe I've seen on the day.
Anonymous still chilling. Huge vantage point of the area. Standing and running. Rotating. Collision and Gentle Giants. They went out, I believe, a little earlier. At least Collision did. And a duel with Overpowered. Moorpork finding Slick there. And so Grego and Danny now Insom and Mad Ruski. This double trouble pairing has been very successful in Realm Royale tournaments across varying days, but very successful nonetheless. So Running and Standing finding themselves away from all the fray with Imtash hiding in a corner in a room next to them.
Doing his best Dark Souls mimic chest impression, I think. That's usually what that tells me. Not a lot of people crouch with their back to the door unless that's what they're going for.
Just trying to take up as little space as possible, maybe because the weapon will, you know, be exposed.
They heard that reload.
Yeah, they know here. Imtashed. Forced to run away. He's trying to just salvage this round for his partner. Oh, but the angle's so bad. You got to say this is going to be the end for him. But who gets the kill?
Oh, my God.
It is Runna. 3 people, though, who show up.
3 directions.
That's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Sharks are in the water. I didn't see any of them. But the second
that's brutal.
The chum goes into the ocean, the waves start kicking, and they are not all natural. 4 seconds before the fog gets to its final destination. And this is the circle that's going to get real small, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes in, and the players are going to have to start making some decisions. Good fireball.
How do you just participate in that 3-point attack and then run to the same spot and get shot by the other 2 people that were, I mean, come on there, brother.
I don't know, man. But
he makes it out okay, though.
And this is a good concussion bomb. Standon's got to make a play. I mean, this can just happen again and again and again because he's got the legendary version. Runna and Standon have angles on this house, though, but Standon knows he's got to reposition, and he does. And they know it now. Cookie Man, Sony, doing a little bit better than the other split of Overpowered.
They don't have any armor potions. That's terrible for them.
Cybait and Low One X12 fighting Hotzik and Zombie Unicorn. You would expect that to go to Cybait's way, but anything can happen. Firebomb and Ghost walked away 3 seconds, so that won't be down. It's hell in here, and they're just trying to find any bullets to land, and they both go down. And it seems like somebody else is going to poach off these kills. It's Cybait finding one onto Sony, and now Runna trying to find one on a Cookie Man. So him and Standon now at 4 eliminations, 6 teams remaining, 9 players left in round 5, and Runna getting aggressed on. It's a chicken. He's just trying to protect it as best as possible.
There it is. Cybait and Low One is so healthy. Runa somehow gets his armor back to full there. Low One picks up Runa's teammate there, so this could be a very fruitful engagement for Low One and Cyb. Runa just not afraid to engage.
Mid-air.
Beautiful back-to-back mid-airs from Low One. Oh my God, the swapping to boot.
Beautiful.
You love to see it.
You love to see it. I love to see it. That was incredible.
That was
Mad Ruski, Low One, Cybait, Alexi. That's it. 5 remaining. 6 remaining, actually. There is one more, and it's Danny, who's hidden this entire time. He's got 4 eliminations he's salvaging. Can Danny make the miracle play? Can Prince Danny finally get this dub?
Yeah, I mean, you pick up 1 more kill here, you're already in top 4. You're happy with that.
Hell of a round.
You're happy with that.
So just don't get caught. And apparently the fog is not moving in on him. I mean, that might just be a visual bug.
It was just, yeah, like, you know how sometimes you'll see like a mage sword just get stuck?
Yeah.
Just a little bit slow to update Danny's position there. He doesn't take any fog damage.
And do they know he's here? They do, Mad Ruski. They find him. This is exactly what Danny didn't want. But listen, Mad Ruski and them Although with the vision, what can they do around it?
They would
They've
have
gotta
sent some drones.
Oh my gosh. And Danny goes into the withdrawal. There's just nothing he can do. That's another one for them. That's 9 eliminations, Nick. That's looking good.
That's like top 2 sounds you don't want to hear when you're in Danny's position. It's just like,
Right out of a Mario
damn
game.
it.
What
And
is
then
that?
he withdraws, doesn't do anything but move him around. They see him the entire time. Sybate
My
and
man.
low one
Whoa.
with authority come through and put Ruski and Insom again. They'll put him in the dirt. There's still that lone wolf out there. But the only difference is Ruski and Insom weren't able to get to him this time.
Woo! And that's 9 eliminations. It's going to be 10 unless Alexi, who is kitted, let's not forget about that, but doesn't have maybe the shielding potion, which would help him to absorb a shot. Can he do this, Nick?
Let me ask you a question, Evan.
Let me ask you.
Don't ask me a question.
Can he
I gotta-
axe these 2 off?
That was the question I was going to ask you, so now thanks for
The question you asked me was,
thanks
can
for
I
taking
axe
the
you?
legs out of my joke before I
Sorry.
even had a chance to be born. Alexi,
Whoa, look at that.
In and
Moonwalk
out.
midair.
he's going to Flavor Town here, brother. And he does not like what Low One and Sybate are serving up. That's
man.
another victory back-to-back for Low One. And is that their 3rd on the day? Didn't they win one earlier
I think
in
they've
that
at least
swamp
won
game?
one. I think they've at least won
They did.
one.
No. Sybate did. No, they didn't win that. That's got to be 2, I think, on the
that's
day.
2.
But that's a big victory again. A lot of kills. I think that's close to 7 or 8.
I mean, they're actually, gosh, I thought they were getting closer to 8, 9. With that, actually 10. I think they might be at 10.
Maybe. There's
So-
only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out. But, man, Alexi did the Wile E. Coyote start up there as he was running. It was just like sideways trying to get out. The charge did not work for him. His charge on his credit card did not go through. He got a little call. Said, sir, what state are you in? What country are you in? We're not authorized to allow this to go.
You got those international fees. Not great reception in Fungal Forest either.
No, not at all. Something about the
You got to
mushrooms.
call your bank beforehand before you head to Fungal Forest.
Definitely.
That
This was the beautiful
That was a
shot
shot
right
of the
there.
round there, yeah.
And it was with burst, you know, which is very, very good. And notably, look at how much work he does. He does most of his work there with the heirloom rifle and only switches out because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to reload.
He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of health there either. But it's just the authoritative nature that they take their fights on. I love seeing it from Sybate. Hey, Ruski and Insom, despite kind of getting rolled there at
Wow.
the end, they come out with 15 under 9 kills, 10 kills for Sybate and Low One. We both sold them short here. They're going to take another 19 points off of their score, and I believe they were already in the lead. Cookie Man and Sony,
That's huge.
not a bad round for them either. Mopork and the gang will shave 3 off. Bird and FPS, 16 more added on to the pile.
Yeah, and everyone else taking that standard 20
All
no
the
matter
big
where they
teams
ended.
today, man.
A
All
lot
the
of
big teams.
Man, you know what? I don't know what it is. I have some guesses. I have some thoughts as to maybe why people might not be as warmed up. But wow, look at this overall standings. Negative 41.
They're running away with it.
I mean, that's a guaranteed placing if I've ever heard it. And that's pretty much a
They-
guaranteed first. No one's getting that
We've
high
got,
of a score, I
yeah,
think,
even if
anymore.
they literally place plus 20 every single round left in the tournament, they'll still only be 19 over.
Yeah,
Which would put them right now in 5th place.
yeah. Pretty nice.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. So,
I don't think that's going to happen either, Evan.
yeah, I don't think so.
Something tells me. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Something tells me here.
But I mean, look at this. Bird and Kefri, Shift and Slick, Jotabo and Z1, all out of the money by, 5-10 places at this point.
Yeah, they gotta find their way. I don't know what's gonna do, what's gonna do it, what's gonna be the change. You do have days where the ball doesn't bounce your way. It's just a common thing when you're competing. Some days you just feel off, and maybe that's what we're seeing. But it is strange to see a large amount of our players and our teams that have done so well have so consistent
Right.
be so consistent in their days off. Everyone's having an off day, and that
Yeah.
does feel a little weird.
I mean, half of them switching partners, right? But then you've got like Z1 and Jotabo have been playing.
that makes no sense.
Outside of that first 100K, they've played basically everything together.
Makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, or maybe hear what they have to say on Twitter, check in with their streams. That's the beauty of a tournament like this. You can watch and see what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and let us know in the Realm Royale chat. So that's it for us for now. We'll be coming right back at you with another round right after this.
Coming down to the wire here now, folks. We've got Sybate and Low One back-to-back victories with 10 and I believe 11 kills. So they are starting to run away with it here. surmising a 40-point lead.
Nice word.
Over their competition.
That was one of my favorite essay words back in English class. It's a great way to basically say summary without saying summary.
And that's what vocabulary is all about.
It is, but there's a little bit of a trick to it, I think, with English and writing and papers and stuff where you have to, you get that, like, word count you got to hit, and you're like, man, I've basically said the same thing 5 times, and I've just got to make it sound different every single time. That's what a lot of touching up essays are about. At least at a preliminary level. At a certain point, people are smart enough to figure out what you're doing. Oh, and Energy Bird and FPS Rev smart enough to figure out what Wyan might be doing. Wyan finding actually 2 kills on the back end, so he's caught my attention for sure. Him and Mary Maybe have definitely gotten early game kills every single round of this tournament.
A good start. Not something that can be said for Bird and FPS here many times so far this tournament. 6 of 8, 3 rounds, including this one left to play. 2 kills to their name. The unmarked Forge is theirs. Book of Ken, an 820 Jet nearby, though. Zyphobia, Octane Pro, Enta, and Winston squaring off here. Winston and Enta will come out on top by a mile. Not a scratch on either of them. Both of them armor still intact.
Yeah, that was a rough fight because one has the rock, but then the others, they don't have a great angle, not only to engage, but also just to run away. It's a little bit too open. E-Ray TV. I've been wanting to talk about this guy all game.
Oh, have you?
He's my name. That's my name. E-Ray.
Oh, man.
Evan
right.
Rayner. TV. I'm like, I've seen this guy before. And that's what I was called. My grandma calls me.
E-Ray?
What's up, E-Ray?
That's wild.
I'm just like, how is, I've never seen this guy. I'm going to have to watch his stream now.
Who this is. Well, thank goodness he's got twitch.tv in his name. So that way you know.
That way I know. But, I mean, he's not even that far away, like Rain Day. Like, I kind of stayed close to my last name and my name. I mean, this guy and I were on some serious way. I wonder if we crossed each other
Perhaps
in a subway.
a fan.
What if we one day, those moments where you're like, hey, there's an app that does that. I'll talk about that later, though. I find it pretty fascinating. Chitobo jumping up, jumping down. 420 Brain and Game Hunter already taking a huge spill as 420 Brain. Imtash finding a kill on a Chitobo, and that is not what they want, with NIP Bird getting slayed yet again by Cybe 8. So although he may not be able to do it with Leon onto the Maldamba in game, he's definitely doing it in Realm.
Well, the success has got to feel good one way or another. And like we mentioned, Cybe 8 and Low One won the, I'm not sure who runs it, but some tournament on Sunday.
It's like a 1K Sunday tournament.
They were able to come out on top of it. Now they're looking good here. As long as they don't fall apart, barring any catastrophic failure, they're looking good for top 3. And even with catastrophic failure, looking good for top 8.
29 teams remaining. And still a little bit of time here as they know people are around in Trinity Hills. We'll check out with the other part of the map. Cybe 8, notably a really interesting player. He had some adjustments. He used to play on one of the bigger teams in Paladins and Fnatic, one of the bigger orgs, and got shifted to Mouse Sports. They quoted that it was style. It was just the type of person that he might be. Didn't mesh with the other guys, maybe a little bit more mature. But him and Low One seem to get each other. I don't know what it is. The synergy seems to be really good for both of them. So
and that's something we talked a little bit about last round. They're so decisive with the way that they play.
Yeah.
I almost think a lot of these teams could watch them and the way they take fights and be like, we could use a little bit more of that, right?
100%.
Maybe just whatever it is, just blind, leadership and maybe say, all right, you're leading this fight. I'm following you. I'm attacking who you're attacking, because that's the way it feels like they take fights.
Into trouble. Oh!
Big wall, brother.
Big wall. He tried to soar over it. He couldn't.
Did he pinch somebody?
No, he couldn't. He could not soar over it. That was huge. The only play that wasn't huge was the one right after.
Oh, God. Burst rifle, by the way.
He died immediately.
And Ependary gets both of them.
Man, it's better to, I guess, burn bright and have a short life than to live long and be dull.
Sure. I think a lot of people live their life that way.
But what happens if your bright moment of burning is very dull colored, like that rock wall that we just saw?
Well, then,
split the difference,
I suppose. Come out even. All right. Well, you don't go to heaven. You don't go to hell.
you just
purgatory.
Yeah, purgatory. There it is. Zap. getting a kill on the hot stick. That is Zombie Unicorn's partner in round 6. Things already starting to be pretty clear. The mural, the painting, the collage, however you want to say it, starting to take shape. Starting to notice some, it's less Rorschach ink blots. It's more of like, okay, this is going to be a plane. This is, I see the nose, the eyes. Just waiting for, you know, some of the other features to be filled in. And that means that teams who want a chance to come back and maybe make a statement in the money have to do it now, Nick. Like Imtashed and Void, basically.
And that's a common concussion bomb, which does like 150 damage there. So
he's going to take that over the sensor drone, too.
We take those.
We take those.
We win those. Beautiful stuff there on Trinity. It will go to Imtashed and Void. They definitely had to bloody themselves up a bit to do so. Shift and Slick, the last of the Southerners, starting to rotate their way up and to this circle, which looks like it might be another North Port.
You say that because he was from the Midwest and close to the South now? Or did you mean
just
in-game?
In-game.
Oh, got it.
They were the Southmost team.
I didn't know.
But
if
he lives in
Slick
Asheville now.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I'm saying.
He's got that nasally Midwest accent, though, that he will never pass in Asheville.
Never pass for a real Southern.
Nah, brother.
Nah, not in Georgia. Not in Georgia, pal. That's where we get our real
I mean, my girl always says I have a Southern. Do you ever hear it? Do you ever hear like a Southern draw on any of my words?
Yeah, I mean, Southern draw is pretty much just, you know, extending some of your normal speech. It's a little bit of
vocabulary.
Vocabulary. That's that high-class dude who lives in, you know, the big house. Oh, welcome to my field, sir. Would you like a
the vocabulary
cupcake?
What was that other?
I'll have
super
Minnie make us
fancy
some
name?
cupcakes. What, the Von Dupins?
Yes. Yes, the Van Dupins.
Phoenix Von Dupin? Come on, man. That's a freaking wealthy Southern estate name owner if I've ever heard of one. Nice ghost walk as well. Danny getting the trade on the Incon, and Lasses knows who this is going to be in just a second. And it's up to him to see if he's going to try to stop some of the quacking, and he actually might be rotating, and Danny knows.
Giving it up?
Danny doesn't know.
Don't tell Danny. Purple withdraw. Wow, they just give it up. Zone's coming. He's not really healthy. His teammate's not with him. I mean, there is reasons for disengaging there. There's absolutely reason for disengaging.
I mean, there's 21 teams left. You're taking a 20 bomb. I mean, yeah, you maybe get a kill, but okay, you get positive 16. That is getting you out of the money. You know what I mean? At this point in the game, you have to start trying to win games, I think. And if honestly, if you just play this like I need to win games, and I think you're gonna get top 3. If you just play this to win and you actually win 1 or 2 of these games, I think you'll move into top 3 if you're in top 8 right now.
Fight's happening up here. Bird and FPS reps. There's a legendary fireball in play that just took down Cookie Man as well. So that's 1/2 of the top 4 team already dead. 4 kills. Best round from Bird and FPS as far as I'm concerned so far. They're still alive.
You asked exactly. They're still alive. That is a huge round. And you talk about FPS reps. Where is he? I mean, Bird wouldn't have switched partners so easily, right? There's got to be something that was, I think, maybe supporting it. Maybe, you know, just it was something with him and Kefri.
What a shot.
At the end of the day, FPS reps contributing 3 kills says, all right, now we're starting to see. Nice shot as well by Bird, and he's going down again. He gets out of the smoke screen, though, and so he is exposed.
You know, we haven't seen a lot of them today, so I'm not positive, but he was mage earlier, no? Switching classes today, Bird? He's an assassin now.
I believe so. And so that
he had smoke screen last
game. That means FPS switched to engineer. And I don't know if he was always engineer.
I'm not positive, because again, we haven't seen much of them today, but
no,
Bird,
I think you're right.
He has done this before. He has switched classes mid-tournament. Maybe he's trying out something new. Kefri exclusively played the assassin for whatever team composition they were running. So Bird has not played a lot of assassin in tournament.
Nice. Wow, that was just efficient, wasn't it? Charge off. Heroic leap to reposition. He doesn't need any more air control than that. Turns around, grabs the slug, easy kill.
I love it. And because it's a legendary charge, if you lead with your charge, by the time you're landing from your leap, your charge is close to being back up.
Nice potion. I mean, this is the team that you want to get right. This is the team that makes you feel happy. They're so far in the lead. Negative 41. Probably about 30 ahead of everybody else in the lobby. Cybate using all of the weapons.
Wow.
That we would expect someone who's familiar with the game he plays to be able to use well. And not hesitating whatsoever.
Yeah, they're kind of owning right now. Legendary burst rifle. No kills, though. And, Bird at alternate. Cuss going at it. FPS reps already down. Bird down as well.
they'll take a seat. I believe 4 kills to their name, but 16th overall is not going to be another great finish, another positive 8. Adding to the pile at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to take a miracle.
You're going to need to regroup, have a conversation, talk about it, you know, get some conversations going after this. You still got rounds to play. Nobody's ever out of it. I mean, you can have these big lumps taken, but
they're getting close.
They're getting dang
They're getting close. They were,
but even out of the money, I mean, top 8?
They were 26th going into this round.
Okay.
I believe. No, we're 29th going into this round.
What's their point value is the question. And what's top 8's
They
point
are
value?
119 behind first, which puts them, I don't know,
They're probably only
50, 60 out of the money.
Right. So, I mean, that's 2 games. I mean, yes, if you're going to need to pop off in the next 2 to 3 games. So, you know, I'm really hard. But I'm going to count. I'm not going to count them out until that doesn't happen.
It's hard to count them out.
Yeah.
It's freaking Bird.
We've seen, I mean, and look at what we saw with Shift and Slick. I mean, that was out of nowhere as well last week. You got to say that there is some pretty big money on the line. And, you know, it's not $25,000, but, dude, I mean, $2,000 right now, what would you do with $2,000 in your pocket? That is a chunk. And a lot of people, a lot of things that could really become easier in their lives.
That's a hell of an afternoon for a lot of the world.
Yeah, for a lot of the world. Not the 1%, but still. I mean, at a certain point, you get to being like, I don't care. This is enough for my percent. Whatever percent I'm in, and I'm making $2,000 an hour or a few hours, I'm good.
Dash and Void here above. JJD and Cloud. I mean, 2 guys, at least 1 guy that's definitely stolen the show today.
Woo!
That's a
Woo!
big dink swap there from that boy JJ. He just doesn't stop.
Instant chicken. I mean, that was, woo!
Who is this,
I am audibly yelling if you haven't heard.
What if that, well, you know, it's Andinster's second Steam account?
Yeah, right. What if it is, bro?
And today,
no way. Andinster does not have these moves.
Truly no longer joking around.
No, man, this man is a smite god, but that does not suddenly make him from 1 week a Realm Royale god after, you know, a decent performance last week, but he wasn't pulling out the sniper like this.
Jeez.
I don't even think he was playing Assassin.
No, he's playing Warrior.
Warrior, right? Yeah. As it happens again, Void and Imtash, really probably a lackluster performance for their expectations. Imtash been giving so much time to this game, so much of his energy and support to this game, streaming as well alongside Destiny and other titles that he's kind of coming from. And him and Void have been getting better and better, but today has not really quite been their day. They're going to need something special heading into the final 13 teams remaining, 24 players still.
You got off days and you got good days. And for Low 1 and Cybe 8, what a day it is today. They are just fragging so hard. They're so kitted so early. And they're playing so aggressively. And it's just paying off. It is just paying off today.
And it kind of has paid off for JJD and Clow as well. I mean, you got to say that JJD has just done a miraculous job. And it's a good ghost walk.
What a hit.
Yeah, and he knows he knows the situation because he's very, very aware that Clow is dead. All right, so that is not a good one. Cybe 8 and Low 1, really important for him to hit the shot. He hits 1, he hits 2.
Dude.
A blink. I mean, this guy is playing absolutely perfectly. Cybe 8's almost dead. Oh my God.
Is this
Oh
man?
my God, that
Oh
was
my
perfect. He
God.
just, the reacclimation and the tightness of the hallway, I think, made it hard for him to, he thought he might have had to turn a little more.
It's just, I mean, it's one shot. That was
Oh.
make or break for the 2v1 there. I don't know if he can create enough distance between himself and Low 1 to come out alive overall there. But, dear God.
I mean, Alternate and Cuss are not going to give this one up, right?
To loot, to die, and to still be so impressive. No one, JJD, he's the only one that has been, he might be that guy, right? That he comes in, he lone wolfs the duo tournaments, comes in 30th place every time, but it's still fun to watch while doing it.
Yeah, he is a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
That is what I love that play. I love this, you know, the sniper action. Really, really good stuff and bringing some life to this tournament in a very unexpected way. Cuss and Alternate notably really spread out, and they do this a lot. Oh my God, Nick, no. Not again. Shoot this box, please. Yes! Not again, my friends!
Oh, man.
I've leveled up!
300 IQ there. Alexi, nothing gets past him or his legendary heirloom rifle. Kills are starting to come through. Shift picks up Synergy.
How are they doing?
Runa goes down as well. I don't know. We haven't watched much of them today. 7 kills for these two. Trying to put the moves on alternate.
Pop
Greg
off.
gets back behind the rock here. Poppy Bomb coming up soon.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again, Greg. You got to move, man. He's going to do it again. Going for it. Has the angle. Luckily didn't hit, and they missed it, but they got the burst. Alternate is in trouble, and this is what I don't like about the way he and Cuss play, dude.
They are so far
They
apart.
always do this, and especially in Northport. I see it all the time.
They are still far apart, even considering he just jumped off a mountain towards Cuss.
Right. I mean, it's a very interesting kind of thing, and you know, maybe it makes people, maybe it makes them think that it's like they're I don't know, solo players. Either way. Alternate has 7 kills here. There are 8 kills in total, I think, for that squad. So a -16.
Cuss had 2, yeah. No, Cuss had 2, so they're 9.
Negative.
They're killing it.
18. I mean, they're negative no matter what in this round.
Yep. Even if they die right now.
18 players left.
No.
By the way.
10 teams, so they'd place 10th, and they'd be at least 8 under if they died right now. I was actually close. That's snipe.
Yeah, that was close. Right now. No, but truly, I mean, it's like there's a lot of fragging potential. You know, this could be a
lot of teams. Look, these guys have 7.
This could be the biggest round ever.
Alternate and Cuss have 9. Low One and Side 8, I think, have 8. I mean, this is not everyone's got 6. Everyone's got like 8.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be probably for the winner the biggest round of this whole tournament.
Sure.
I mean, Side 8 or Low One or alternate.
-23, I think, is our mark there.
Yeah.
So
they're
easily within reach.
Easily. I mean, you just win the game at that point. You take down one duo, right? You get your -5 added. 10 teams remaining. Fog starting to move in now. This is 1 circle away from the very, very small circle that will take place at 19 minutes that the players will have to move into. Some of the recent changes about a week ago to some of the circumference of the fog. Excuse me, of the circles, and now just an all-out aggressive play. Shift and Slick do a great job of finding one. Slick trying to be a Slick player here, and he's done it. Shift goes down, but it's Slick who stays alive, and actually Shift is going to make it out.
He's down, but he's not out.
He's not out, and they've caused a lot of commotion, a lot of disruption, so you would expect maybe some visitors soon.
They need, Cuss and Alternate need a big kill here because they need armor potions. They're running out of sustain for these fights, and that's big. That's going to make a big difference for them. The Behe, Epandary, they have the positioning. Let just let Epandary take over that fight.
Yeah.
Kefri and Overpowered go down pretty unceremoniously, positioning not on their side. But, you know, they know where the circle is. They know where the circle's going. They know what the map looks like at that point, and it's really no one else's fault but their own.
I expect Low One and of course Side to find kills right here. I mean they're just in such a good spot.
Firebomb's the right, potion launcher's the left.
That's 2 more.
They're running circles around their opponents
10.
right now.
That's 10, dude.
You gotta say, if they lock this one up, even at this point, even if they die right now, they're still in a damn good spot. They're getting close to locking this one up.
3 eliminations for Slick and Shift, which is kind of, you know, if you're going to play around like this, you just want to go negative. Some people are taking positive scores that are ahead of you, would assume.
Everyone is
in
this little sliver. No one is up on the high ground of this map. I think it's just because that's where the cover is, right? Yes, that's all high ground, but it's all wide open, right? The houses, the Northport Comfort Zone, the safe space is all down there.
Northport Inn, the Northport Comfort Inn and Suites. I mean, they have good rates, Nick, I'm telling you. That's why we see a lot of people sleeping in there. They charge.
I used to like Northport.
Now you don't?
I don't dislike it, but I got to just be careful how much I flame it because I still like to go there, and I don't want someone to call me out.
Yeah. No, it is definitely a good spot. Shift and Slick. A little bit of a precarious angle here. A Flux firing onto them, and on a mouse as well.
No kills,
No kills, but still 11 players, so if they win the game, they're going to find at least 2 kills, you would assume. Maybe 1. And get a negative score, which is what you're wanting.
Mo porking him right now. Gold burst rifle, and he gets a 1v1 too because these guys just get split up. Anonymous and a Flux just has to wait for his blink to get up here or start Skyrimming it.
Just going to take some damage.
Looks like he's going to go for the ladder. Yeah, he just Skyrimmed it up there on his Raptor.
Oh, missed. Look at this.
Slick wants it. Slick gives him a little bit of damage already. Mopork is juggling himself. He makes good use of his kit, but he is out in the... No way. Slick. Slick!
Wow.
Slick!
Wow. And Shift gets taken down by 820 Jet. This is incredible. Book of Ken now able to hopefully sleeve this one up, and they do not miss.
It's just...
And that's a white burst.
You know, they get split up there. It is what it is. Shift's dealing with Ken and and Jet and Slick is getting 1v1.
What was so amazing, he stole the high ground from him, Nick. Only 3 teams remaining. And I believe it's Side 8, Low 1, Alternate, and Cuss. And now it's 820 Jet. It's just a 2v2.
10 kills versus, Side 8 and Low 1. They're on 11.
They've got to be.
At this point.
They've got to be. Sensor Drone as well. This is a true duo, but Cuss doesn't have anything to keep him safe, so he's working with the barricade, and the high ground is going to be to his advantage here.
Look at them go for it. They literally just curb stomped Alternate and Cuss. I think Side 8 took maybe 40% of his armor. They just curb stomped them. Oh my God.
I thought we were going to have a fight.
Dude.
I was about to cast.
They're owning
Guess
today.
not.
They are owning today.
They're incredible. They're incredible.
They're basically locked up.
I mean, they were my kind of keep an eye on team at the start of this tournament after hearing they won the Sunday version, and then also that they were just doing so well. They've been showing such marked signs of improvement. And that to me is the biggest thing. Can your team, and if you're sticking with your team in a lobby of teams that have switched and teams that have had to adjust to new feelings, new partners, new champions, if you can just keep doing the same thing and growing, that's where you get the best score of the day, -25. On top of a -41 they already had.
They had a second place finish earlier. And then these past 3 rounds, not only have they won 3 in a row, but each round they are setting the record this day for how negative a team can go. They went -19, then they went 21 under, and now they're, what, 23 under
25.
with that? 25 under for that finish.
So here's crazy, Nick. Unless Anonymous and Flux, who are currently the same team, they get the next 3 rounds, 8, 9, and 10, a -20 score.
We only have
2
rounds left.
Sorry, negative 20, right? Let's say that's where we're going for. They're going to be at a -36. If Side 8 and Low 1 take positive 20s, they drop all the way down to a -26. So they'd have to not only frag out Anonymous and Flux, but Side 8 and Low 1 would have to take
That's what I'm saying.
bombs
They were
to not take first.
Going into that game, they were pretty much locked in to be in the money. Now they're pretty much locked in to being first place because everyone that was kind of close to them had rough games as well.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I guess my biggest question now is, because there's so many numbers to look at. I'd love to look at like 16 because the first page or the second page there where you see top 8, and then you go obviously to the top 16 is where you can see who's out of the money, despite first kind of usually being a long shot at this point, with the team obviously playing better. Wow, Dagger OP here.
What a good way to start the game.
Yeah. Thanks for capturing that moment and showing it back to us. Low 1 finds the kill there. That was a big fight for them.
Yeah, they've had some really good moments today.
And Side staying alive off of JD's aggression, which almost worked.
Though, you almost have to talk about JJ, though. What a fight. This was really the best fight of the game. They're the closest it got. He just went for it. He just had the presence of mind to stop healing and to not get too shook by that, not to get shook by the aggression, so to speak. That was beautifully played. Firebomb to the right, potion launcher to the left. I really can't wait to see this last, that last fight between them and Alternate and Cuss. I felt good about it because a lot of that initial aggression coming out from Side 8 and Low 1 ran into Alternate's barricade. I'm like, all right, that's a good start. And then it just fell apart.
Man, it's crazy how things can change just like that, or they can keep on going. If you want to know who's at the top, or at least keep up with the standings while we're in game, esports.realmroyale.com. That's your place to be. Also, twitch.tv/Realm Royale map is where you can follow along and see where your players are moving, and also who's forging where and what parts of the map have the most action. Great to keep up in another tab or on another monitor if you are lucky enough to have one. Nick, we're going to roll right into round 9 here, and yeah, it's looking like first is almost locked up.
Pretty much.
The bigger conversation is who's in the money, who's falling out at those, 2 all the way into 8. I mean, because it's like
2 through 8 is close.
2 through 8 is close. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a lot to be decided, I think, outside of first place, barring and even including catastrophic failure now. Only a 10-point difference.
From 8 to 16.
Yeah. There's
only 10 points.
A lot of hand changing. It's not going to be at the top. It's going to be right there in the middle of the pack.
And that's where it's going to be so exciting. So we got to keep track of all those teams as we head into round 9 because, then the story shifts as to, let's take a look at it. That's what I was really hoping for. Let's take a look at the standings as we can kind of get our eyes adjusted to where we want to be focusing, so to speak, get our focal lenses correct. So you see Anonymous, Mopork, Mad Ruski, and Insom, they've been great. Book of Candy's had his moments. Stan and Aruna have been real consistent, as well as Cookie Man and Sony.
Alexi, Hey to Gray, they've definitely hung in there. And everyone far off the lead, but
it's where it's close.
Like we said, my goodness. Kefrine overpowered, hanging in there. We haven't seen a lot of them today, but they're hanging in there.
2 good games, man. They're going to be in conversation. You know, Danny and Grego, they've been great. Imtash and Void staying in there. Kefrine, Shift and Slick after that last round, which was pretty solid for them. Going to be interesting as we head into round 9. All of the tables have a chance to be turned, but maybe not quite all of them. Maybe most of the tables. I think first place looks to be pretty clearly Cybe 8 and low ones to lose, and a Flux and Anonymouses to heavily earn.
Yeah.
And so at this point, we're going to be witnessing a drop that probably means more than any of the other drops that we've seen today, and that will give us an indication. Nick, do you expect more of a safer drop here or more of a hot drop?
I don't know. It doesn't appear, given that they killed Bird and Diggy at roughly the same time, 2 games in a row, which tells me that they're not really changing where they're going.
Right.
I don't think it's Bird and Diggy Dog following them around the map and trying to snipe their spots or anything. So I think, and they do this a lot. They're going, I see them, they're up in the Badlands, far, far north.
Yeah.
They did this in the 100K basically every time, and we commented on it because they basically went coast to coast, all the way north to south. So it looks like it's just more of the same for them.
I mean, this is a big one, man. G-Dolphin finding the kill on the Keva Flash, and he's going to find the kill on the K-Wolf. Mikey's going to stay alive. I mean, that's 2 elims. And I believe that was a team that actually was in that top 16, top 8 that could have gone down.
Oh, no.
And now it's
Jotobo
Jotobo
go down. Dude, I'm looking at my... I'm going to give this a second to update, but my standings thing that I'm looking at has... Oh, my God, it's right. Yeah, Imtash and Void, the first team to die this round.
No.
They are the first team to die this round. That's a plus 20.
That's a 20. That's a 20, and they were... I believe they were in the 8 to 16
We should make
range.
it like a 21-point cap just so we can just say, like, that's a blackjack or something.
That's a blackjack.
I need something. I need a lot of, like, cheeky abbreviations in my life.
That's a Vente. It's a Vente, baby.
A Venti. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's it. That's the play.
Yeah. Yeah, and at this point...
That's like the Starbucks, like, cup size, right?
Yeah, it is. Or Vente is actually... Vente, it's Italian and Spanish are very similar, so I'm sure Venti is the Italian version of that. And then a Vente is just 20 in Spanish. Just
Insom and Ruski, another big team here. That's a nice tag there on Ameri. 4th place, looking for their first frags of the game. 420 Brain takes down Mixer's 1 HP. I mean, taking so much damage early, you can see, yeah, they're trying to disengage here. Insom's going to go for it. A little bit of Serpentine coming through here, making it difficult. Maybe they get a lucky... If they get a lucky tag here, this player's going down. They just barely dismount him. But because he switched to the crossbow, crossbow has ranged fall off, and that was actually so little damage. And that's like maybe the one scenario that player lives, but now he's so split from his teammate. Is it worth it?
I'm not sure.
Brewski's pretty hurt. Okay.
Wyan always getting into these incredibly early fights, man. Insom GG finding that one. And I'm very curious as to where he actually is on the scene. He's 23rd right now. And Insom GG and Ruski, notably, 2nd place right after Shift and Slick in Keemstar's tournament.
Yeah.
What really exciting stuff for them, because that's a very big pot as well that they took advantage of. I believe it was 30K. So 15K apiece just last week. And they're in 4th here.
You certainly ain't mad at that.
I mean, if they're in 4th, then they get that, you know, maybe that 2nd place. You know, they're starting to add up. The prize pool earnings are, you know, we're going to see over the course of this year who has earned the most in Realm Royale prizing.
A little bit of a fight brewing here.
Yeah.
31 teams remaining. Enta and Winston, they're close to the money here. I believe they've had a couple of... They've definitely had good days. Enta, for sure, has had some incredible moments. Bird and IP, the boys.
Nice wall.
Finally, we get to see them do something. They've died early game, every game so far.
Yeah.
And Bird, he keeps appearances up. Diggy Dog as well. Not a great heroic leap there. He doesn't clear a lot of distance. Will he live to yeet another day? No, he will not.
And here's SK Alternate and Cuss. And I mean, you know, Diggy Dog and NIP Bird, the amount of times I've seen them play Realm Royale is one. It's today. Cuss and Alternate, the amount of times I've seen them play Realm Royale is more than I can count, more than I care to even mention.
Alternate's literally always on.
Alternate is always been playing since release, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that's showing, you know, some of these fights that proving a little tough, even though they've got the Swedish synergy there and they are together. Not necessarily working out for NIP Diggy Dog and NIP Bird. I think it's just fun for them.
Oh, boo. Yeah. And, you know, fun's a big part of it.
Absolutely.
What else you got to do on a Wednesday afternoon?
Seriously.
When in the PPL down season.
And let's not even, I mean, listen, man. You know, however they've done, they're not far off.
Who, Bird and Diggy?
Yeah.
No, they're in the dumps.
No.
They're like 30.
No, they are. But what I'm saying is, for how bad they've done, they have a couple of different rounds, and like they might have come top 8. You know what I mean? Like it's not far off. You just gotta hang in there.
Well,
I think it's more tactical your first time playing because it is a different pacing, man. You just can't take the fights.
Right? Yeah, you maybe just got to get used to that tournament lobby. Sure. Oh, Mr. Energy Bird still alive. FPS reps still healthy as well, taking this fight to Mikey and G Dolphin. Bird gets continually aggressive, but armor. Not something either of these teams really have much of in the early game. You can see good barricades here from FPS Reps. Just looking for angles here. Reps goes for the heal right behind his barricade. That was pretty ballsy.
Also, bad fireball. I mean, he didn't go. He went right in the middle. He didn't bank shot it. He didn't land it right at his foot. So
see, this is where's Reps? You know, he comes in. They come out on top of that fight. But like that's what has been killing them all day, Evan.
The fact that he gets down before he gets
3 seconds before your partner's within follow-up range.
Yeah. And oh my God, this is huge. Alternate and Cuss, they're finding side 8. They got low one. They did it. They did it. This is big for the lobby.
Wow.
This is pretty much a 20. How many kills do they have?
I don't know if low one and Saib had any. We'll be able to see
that's
here.
the 20 we were talking about.
I'll watch it in just a second. I mean, that's one half of the puzzle.
Oh boy.
And that's the 4th kill for Alternate and Cuss.
Now they're in the conversation. They're 19th right now. But they're going to jump up because at least 5
They
teams.
had this many kills.
Because they had 0. Oh boy. Shift and Slick doing what they need to do as well. I mean, they were the late parade that came marching through, storming that first place win in last week's 100K Keemstar Invitational. And now 5 members ahead of what was Alternate and Cuss have actually died now. Imptash and Void, Mikey G Dolphin, Prince Danny TV and Grego, as well as Kefri and Overpowered. So this is going to be a huge game potentially for us and Alternate, right? Alternate and Cuss. As Lasses and Incon are really trying to finish this off at least quickly.
Shots going from low to high here for Lass and Incon, looking for their first couple kills of the game. Incon actually backs up here. I don't know if they're trying to just reposition or get all the way out, but it's going to cost Incon a lot of HP. He's got a lot of healing potions, not a lot of armor potions.
Oh, good.
And that's a lot of burst damage. 420 Brain just gets caught looking. All these teams are just barely in the circle as well.
And Incon and Lasses, I mean, they are 13th. They were higher placed than Cuss and Alternate. And I believe that they were very close to a higher place than Shift and Slick. They were. Shift and Slick were 14th starting out this round.
Yeah, they're 1 place higher.
So this is actually, for Slick and Shift, a huge fight. If they can do this, they're taking down the people who are right in front of them in the leaderboards. And it looks like it's happened, but it was Game Hunter who found this one. 420 Brain still has that teammate alive. And wow, what a steal there. But I believe Incon has still managed to sneak by somehow.
Alternate picks up yet another kill. That's somewhere around 5 or 6 for Cuss and himself. And they need this. They got a long way to go here. Like we said, 18th to, I believe, 8th place or so is a close race, right? So they're going to climb a lot this game if they can hold it together and not get that high placing. And now the conversation starts. You know, we already have 5, 6 kills. The only thing that's hurting us now is our placement. We're in a good spot here. Let's just take very safe fights.
Absolutely, and look at this, man. This should be a couple of kills here, and it's already a chicken, and I think you start looking at the other person now, and you say, you've got that up. You don't need both of them. He's going to run away. Clean him up. It's Ire. No. Oh, no. My brother from another mother. I hope that you stay alive and do us well. I guess I'll have to carry on the Ire name as you go down in this lobby. And a Flux and Anonymous add 2 big kills on what needs to be a big game for them if they're going to even try to do the miraculous here.
Shift picked up Incon during that engagement as well.
Oh,
so
that's big.
We are at 20 teams remaining, so the next team to die will get the plus 20. Everyone after that, though, will start getting less. So 19, 18, 17, onward and upward until hopefully you get that big bad 1.
And it matters so much when you're fighting not just against yourself in this lobby now, you're fighting against the placements of the people who are ahead of you, right? So, even though they took a 20, they're, maybe 2 spots ahead of you. If you can take a 15, that's 5 points you're gaining on them, even if you don't have the type of game that you want. So survival is important. And notably, Team 17 starting this, 420 Brain and Game Hunter, who were behind Lasses, behind Shift and Slick, are still alive. I believe Game Hunter is still alive.
I'm looking at this now. If I'm Saibei, yes, they're super far out in front. They took a real big 0 kill plus 20, as bad as it gets in round 7, right? Do they get shook in the next round?
Right.
1 round. If we just don't mess this up.
Yeah.
Do they stray away from what's been working for them? Do they continue to play the game that has gotten them? This is where, the men are separated from the boys, I think, here, when you can keep your cool down the stretch, especially in situations like this for Low One and Saibei, when it's not looking as locked up as it once was.
Oh, that is a crucial Ghost Walk and Blink. I mean, that saves his life. FPS Reps ready to clean it up. Had it right, set, and aimed for the dome. But he just wasn't able to pull the trigger. He became ephemeral and phased through. Hodzic trying to do the same. His run won't be as fast, and it won't be as effective as it looks like he's going to get taken down here from across the way. FPS Reps will get that kill. Sated, and maybe thinking, is that the same person that I was fighting? Is that the same assassin? Probably not, but you wonder maybe a quick hesitation.
Got a lot of big people still on the board here. Nanamouse, Afflux still alive, Ruski, Insom still alive, Book of Ken, Jet still alive, Cookie Man and Sony are still alive. Brain, I believe, just went down there. Or no, Game Hunter, yeah, still alive here. Shift and Slick still alive. Alternate and Cuss still alive. A lot of people still in the running. Bird and FPS Reps. It's going to be tough for them to climb their way out of the money.
Oh, wow.
Down there. His partner's here, though. He's got the covering fire. He's got the angle.
Do you rush it and die? That's the question. He missed! Oh, no! What a play! He tried, and now he doesn't have his movement skill. Shift and Slick also taking down Alternate and Cuss across the way, which is equally as hype. Oh, Cookie Man and Sony just allow patience to seize the day for them. Unlucky.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word luck. He choked that. I mean, he choked the fireball and the shots into the window. Granted, the shots are harder than the fireball.
Shots are so hard, dude.
Yeah, shots are hard.
I wouldn't expect him to get that. The fireball, he's trying to do it fast.
It's just like when you have the fireball.
It was the soar after that screwed him because he soared into trouble and then couldn't get away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Wasn't luck, but still unlucky.
Shift and Slick, never lucky. Double concussion bomb as well. Good start for Slick. He's going to pick up a helmet here. Just a little bit more effective armor. Every little bit counts. We've seen fights be decided by 100 or less HP for sure. Concussion bomb goes in again.
Oh, it's a big one too.
Bird doesn't have any armor here. Shift is so healthy. You got to say, how does this go anyway? But Shift and Slick.
Shift and Slick just taking advantage of what's rightfully theirs at this point. 2 people who are not equipped to handle that fight. And look at this, Shift geared out, all legendaries across the board, Gucci'd up to the teeth. And Desert UK, Baggins, they have had a relatively quiet day. We've seen them about once on broadcast outside of this. In Trinity Hills, which it looks like this fight will be ending on. 16 teams remaining. The Fog moving in a minute before it arrives at its destination. 26 players still representing those 16 teams.
Man.
Mixer.com/Incision actually leaving a legendary sensor drone away in a very house-filled ending in favor of a white concussion bomb.
That's a good point.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's just the mobility. Some people just prefer it so hard. And
oh, and look at this!
Now we can go ahead and... Wouldn't have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered because he would have picked that up anyway. Did he just miss a epic helmet, though? All right, so a couple of those, my
Adrenaline-fueled looting frenzy here. Sometimes mistakes are made, and I get it.
Now I don't know if that was purposeful that he left that tension. That might have just been, he didn't see it. The absolute adrenaline was just pulsing through his eye veins, and he just had no vision except for what was in front of him.
He's blacked out.
He's blacked out. All adrenaline, no loot.
So, unfortunately, Cuss and Alternate, they were that 20th team, right?
Yeah.
So they still got the plus 20. They had 5 kills, but that's still a plus 10 to their score. And they're at the point where they needed 2 good games back-to-back. So I don't know if they'll be able to finish top 8 today. FaZe scuffs his thrust as well, so he's going to take some serious damage getting out of the zone.
Yeah, dude. You scuff the Jordans on that one. He's going to have to make sure he gets some shoe cleaner after that. Standing, still in the chicken form, standing. Oh, still standing, but Zap fighting off a Runna. This is going to decide quite a bit, actually. Zap goes into the smoke screen, and Runna, oh, beautiful barricade. Now Zap has had the tide turn. That's a fire something.
Good old potion launcher, man.
And he finds it.
Splash
damage.
damage.
Totem.
Splash damage. Not an easy thing to come by in this game. So the potion launcher has that leg up on a lot of the other weapons there, especially when you look at the way that some of these very experienced engineers are using it, right? When you firebomb the right side of the bush, potion launcher the left of it, you can really, really play those angles. And even, you know, if it's to get information, right? Maybe you splash somebody for 160, big whoop there, but you know exactly where they are.
A Nanomouse and a Flux. Second place in this lobby. Doing pretty well. The only team maybe even threatening them at this point who is still alive is Shift and Slick.
Yep.
And so at this point,
Shift and Slick, though.
also, Alexi and Hater Gray. Let's talk about them because Alexi and Hater Gray are in 8th. I don't know how many eliminations they have, but Alexi at least is still alive. And Cookie Man and Sony, they are at 3 eliminations, and they're in 7th. So they're.
I mean, we have a lot of the top 8 left alive. It's literally Cybate and Lowen are dead, and Mo, Pork, and Synergy, who are in 3rd, are dead. Everyone else, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all still alive in this lobby.
I guess it really was just more of a visual thing, as everyone who was not in threatened range of, I think, pushing them out of 2nd, was in that coagulated place of Trinity Hills. At this point, all of the teams that are in the top 8 are pretty much on the outskirts, moving their way in. Slick and Shift, notably the ones holding down the Forge. Very dangerous spot, right in the middle of the action. But if you're in the middle, sometimes you can't get surprised. You can see where people are coming from.
Booker Ken, Jet, Ruski, Insom. 2 kills to their name. Good loot as well. Ruski's got that gold crossbow. We saw him go to work already once with that.
That's Alexi down as well.
Big plays being made here. Ken and Jet, they're doing their best just to get to a good spot here, but they're taking a lot of damage for it. Insom's got to rotate into this house alongside Rusk. It looks like they're about ready to hunker down.
Yeah, just limit your angles. Oh, Flux finds Baggins. Slick taking down Ardren. And that might have been a kill that was maybe started, maybe primed up. Oven got heated before he put the actual dish in there. Shift and Slick still holding the high ground. And this is a Flux and Anonymous. Big shot from Slick. He hits the sniper. Maybe some healing, but I don't think they have time. The fog is moving in, but it's going to end right on this house.
Oh, nice bomb.
However, they are in the fog, and that concussion bomb is going to force them away. Slick and Shift take control of this territory. And now a Flux and Anonymous are wide out in the open.
How do you do this, man? You don't have the angles to shoot. Shift's taking damage. Slow it down here. I don't mind that at all. Just keep enough pressure on them that they can't heal. That's all that I ask.
I mean, you got to say that they're probably going to run into a team, right? I mean, this is they only know this one threat, but he's got to heal up here. He's got to heal. Firebomb, Ghost Walk just to try to stay alive. The crouch, will it even be enough? His head, no.
Yeah.
But the concussion bomb or anything else will take him down.
Bullets are whizzing by this little archaeologist's hat. Slick and Shift in a good spot here. Shift. They've got armor potions to spare. Slick's 10-10.
They do.
Bomb this man on the tree. Do something to him.
At this point, you know, Flux is now getting into the party. And this is the second place team for a reason. They know how to manage these fights. And this is the fire, actually hits him. It looks like Shift gets chicken. Oh no, Flux pushes in. And now it's Slick by himself. It's going to be in trouble in the house. And it does go the way of Anonymous and a Flux. Yo, Hellion trying to get on the action. No, he's just riding around, taking the high ground and moving while they're occupied with another team.
You know, they had him. Shift and Slick had him. They just really weren't able to get aggressive there. Shift never got super healthy again in that fight. I think, I don't know, maybe a more aggressive barricade could have come out right by that pumpkin, right?
Gift. Yeah.
They dropped one little barricade near that pumpkin. I think if that barricade's a little bit more aggressive,
right,
they're maybe able to pick up one half of that team on the hill, and they sit on their laurels and don't use their lead.
Good shielding potion. I mean, he shields the engineer as he thrusts up. That's a great way to handle that situation because he's so vulnerable in the air. Still looking for a poke. We're now with Cookie Man and Sony, and Runna and Stand-In still top 8 players. With only 5 teams remaining, +5 is the only score you're going to take. Most teams at this point have enough eliminations to go negative at this juncture of the game. A Flux finding another kill on a Desert UK. So many kills are coming through for Flux and Anonymous, and it looks like they are just outside, moving in through the fields, Nick. They are relatively exposed by that pumpkin on the northeast.
This is about to be, you know, there's no prone
pumpkin patch fights
in Realm Royale. But a couple of wheat snakes maybe in the fields here.
Oh, man.
Pumpkin patches.
And what if they get the what if the circle moves for them? We can't actually see it right now.
This is awesome. So we have Weekend and Chapo, I think, still alive, according to my little standing thing. I don't know. We have a lot of teams still in the top 8 alive here. Cookie Man and Sony, Anonymous, Ruski and Stand-In over there.
And Ruski's just by himself here, Nick. You know, Insom died earlier.
Ooh.
And they see him.
It feels like Anonymous and Flux know where everyone is.
It does feel that way. I mean, they're not in the pumpkin patch. They're not in the fields. They're not in the wheats. They're not in the fields.
That's true.
We're everywhere that you can't be. So you got to be over there. Circle's only so big, man.
This is awesome. I love these.
These
I'm okay with. You know,
here.
these standoff, these one building standoffs.
Wow, what a move.
Stupid amounts of teams left alive here, starting to engage on each other now. Sony doesn't know quite where to look here. He's used all of his kit now. He's got his healing potion available. Doesn't even pop it. He does.
And it's Keemstar at the end of the day. Cookie Man tried to run away into the barn, but he actually finds Ruski in there, and Anonymous and a Flux see everyone. They know that a couple of kills took place, Nick. Still 6 elims remaining. We said Anonymous and a Flux had to go big. They've got 10 eliminations. This is going to be a -20. If they can just win this game, it's going to be even more than that.
There it is. They pick up an 11th now. Trying to remain ice cold here. The pumpkin ready to rock. Beautiful poppy bomb there.
Oh!
Hits the shot as well into the air.
He's got to have it.
Rushing it down, trying to get, but it's got a teammate to go through. Goes into his ghost walk now.
This is so smart.
Starting to lose focus here. Afflux doesn't know who he wants to go for if he split the difference too much.
It's so smart, though. He wanted to win the game, but it doesn't work out in his favor. He's trying to body block, but oh no, now it's Stand-In who's alive. Stand-In finds a kill into a Flux. It's Anonymous versus Stand-In, and there's still one more. Ruski, I think, is still here somehow. He's in the chicken form, though. He's got to hit this kill, Nick. The ice block is coming. Is he going to use it? Fireball, ice block. Anonymous still has a chance.
They're both just choking so many shots here. Finally, Ruski died to the fog. Stand-In gets the last kill available there, and what an ending there. Still 11 kills, though. Second place, maybe, yeah. I mean, Ruski had to have died right before that, or the game would have ended with Ruski running around as an egg there. So, I mean, that's the best thing you could hope for.
How did you feel about going for Ruski there? Because that was a play, right?
No, I didn't like it. You didn't like it? Pick a team. Pick who you. Maybe he doesn't know the full. I could see you getting lost there, maybe thinking that's his teammate, right? That's his teammate. If I take him down,
right? I
don't know. That was chaotic as all hell. 20 shaved off the score for Anonymous. Afflux.
Wow.
And that's this is the scenario that you benchmarked going into this round.
Let me talk. Okay, so that was a -20. Shift and Slick with a -12 there. But if they get those 3, that's -6. Plus they get 2 more teams, that's -8. That could have been a -28 score. That was about to be the biggest score of the day. And that would have been the thing that made it possible next round. They would have been -46 to -22.
Yeah. This gets easy now, you know.
24.
Another +20 for Cybait and low one, and then you've got to just shave 11 off your score.
You got to have like a 10-game bomb and win.
Very possible. Anonymous, outside of that, the game before last, they have had 5 or 6 kills every single time going into late game. And that's why they're in this position. They haven't had a ton of wins. They haven't had, you know, massive amounts of top 10s, but I just feel like every time we come to them, they always have like 5 or 6 kills.
it's just incredible for me to not only just see the effectiveness that they have in these fights, but in the overall grand scheme of things. You know, you keep mentioning how each round they've done this, and that's what it's all about. I think that's what being a pro in Realm Royale is. It's not one round. It's your 8 rounds. It's your 10 rounds. Whatever round it is, you have to perform, and you have to give your team a chance to win in the long run. Book of Kin starting out and dropping down into that number 7 spot.
Shift and Slick, man. The Shift and Slick story.
I mean, look at this. The climb, man.
Climbing back out of it. So
you should sponsor with Miley Cyrus and sell exclamation point the climb.
They're in the money. I mean, they are in the money. They're ready to do this thing. They've got 1 round left to do it. Remember, we're only playing 8 rounds today, so the next round is the final.
That's right. 1 more round to go to see who is going to take number 1. Will it be a Not a Mouse and a Flux who make the dream come back? Will Cybate and Low One choke yet again? Find out right after this. Well, it all comes down to this. 8 rounds played, only 1 winner. A Not a Mouse and a Flux made the incredible comeback last round that no one thought could happen, and Cybate and Low One took the spill that everyone thought was very unlikely. Will it happen 2 games in a row? Will a Not a Mouse and a Flux go from 2nd and climb back from that negative 66 score that Cybate and Low One were leading the pack with? And will Shift and Slick continue their dramatic rise as they tend to do towards the end of these tournaments?
So it doesn't look like Cybate and Low One are switching up where they're going. They always go way, way north here in Goblin Gulch. Sometimes that requires them to go coast to coast. And Bird, I don't see Bird and Diggy Dog either, but I do see Bonker, Koa, Onilight, and FaZe. Definitely a very Paladins-packed Goblin Gulch.
Paladins-packed Goblin Gulch. I like to see it. We're only missing Ruckus, and then we're right there. All the teams just kind of spacing each other out. You're getting a big glimpse at the map, which is going to tell you a lot. I mean, it's really telling you a look into the insight in the minds of these players. Do they look to go and just say, hey, nothing matters? I think that's what Z1 and Jatobo are doing. Let's fight. Who cares? I mean, we're not in a great spot anyways. We've got to have a crazy game in order to get to the money. But, you know, this is sometimes what happens, right? NIP Bird finding a nice kill. Z1's going to go down very, very early.
Cut left there.
But you know what?
Break line of sight.
They didn't care, man. They really didn't care. They're so far out of it. I think that, you know, you could tell the aggression was like, let's just fight. Let's have some fun. This is a big one, though.
All right, I'll buy that. Bonker, Cyb 8. It's over.
It's over.
That was it.
It's over. But now, you know, they've spotted someone else.
Thank you guys so much for coming. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. And, I mean, this is not what you want to see. It's just 1 kill, right? That's probably Koa over there, you would assume, because he shot back almost immediately. So the team not out, but already 1 elimination. That's just a -2 added on to the leader scores already. They're currently in the lead by 30.
Well, they're starting their campaign. Now, at least, they can only get plus 18. So there's that.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So you're in a situation where every kill hurts your chances more. I think the best, most realistic way to do this, and let's forget realistic because a lot of times that doesn't happen in these tournaments, is for them to take somewhere of a positive 15, get out relatively soon, maybe grab 1 more kill, eliminate a duo, and then a Not a Mouse and a Flux to win the game and get a -15 or above. That's pretty much how you would have to do it, I would assume.
Kefri about to square up there. I was wondering if he was going to wrap left or wrap right there. Bird and FPS reps about to get involved here as well.
Getting better.
Hanging in there.
Getting better.
Alive past 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes. That's something.
That is something. Jeffrey finding a kill onto 1 HP. Swindy and Sam actually finding Grego and Prince Danny. Now, this wouldn't do much for Swindy and Sam, but for Grego and Prince Danny, it would do a lot. Taking a positive 20 here last round without a bunch of eliminations, this is a very precarious situation.
He finds the first couple of shots here. Rolls away. We'll have his white slug rifle here. Danny and Grego healthier, but still not outside of 1-tap headshot range. So could be anyone's game here. Armor potions, plenty of healing potions as well. He just heals up and goes for it. Grego asserts himself.
as the man who's going to win this fight.
And Grego really hits the big shot as well that puts Sam pretty low, as he was kind of frontlining that fight for Swindy. So Grego really showing up big. Alternate Cuss, Incon, Lass. All these players, all these teams are kind of in the mix here. Have to have a big round, of course, to get back into the top 8, as Lass and Incon have dropped now to 15th place. But Imtash and Void, notably 14th place. That team is out, so it will be 14th and most likely above if Lasses and Incon find a couple kills.
Ooh, my goodness. Cuss, if you only knew how low he was. And how close you were to having that angle there, but it looks like Yohelen, he's gone. You don't want to it's tough to chase people through those cattails as well. They could be hiding in them, right? You could run right by him. You wouldn't even know. So Cuss, he just sticks it out. That one, unfortunately, is going to be the one that got away.
Yohelen and Satori, it just doesn't sound like a... They've got to be foreign, I would assume.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of streamers that hand worker, like that was I found out he was German. He was a German streamer. There are a lot of streamers from a lot of different languages and communities. I'm feeling Yohelian's somewhere around my Swede, my Swiss, something around there. Denmark. Somebody I'd love to know what it actually is.
He's no Van Dupen.
I always notice his name because he has 10K in it, and it throws me off. Satori has 10K in it as well, but I realize now it's because they're playing in the 10K tournament. And I'm like,
and these are their 10K accounts.
Yes,
They're their tournament accounts.
I'm like, wow, that's what it's for. I was like,
their
it was
other
just
accounts
confusing
probably
me.
aren't safe for stream.
Yeah, that's probably the case. SK alternate here, trying to land down. He finds Prince Danny. He throws a firebomb onto himself. Excuse me, that was Lasses.
Lass just gave him the work.
He really did.
But he's so low here. Cuss, purple burst. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watch ahead.
Yeah. If that one went the way of Lass, man, I would have to talk to my boys.
Absolutely. At this point, Cookie Man and Sony holding down the Forge here in Crossing. 25 teams remaining. It's actually gone a little faster than most games. Only 45 players left. It's only been five and a half, close to 6 minutes. So a lot of aggression here. It seems like players are saying, hey, go big or go home.
Right. In the last round, a lot of people start to fall out of the running for the money. So they just get in there and they do their thing.
Get some frags.
Yeah. They just drop it like it's a pub. Forging start to commence here for Sony and Cookie Man. Unless they saw Mo Pork across the way. I don't think they did. But this would also alert any nearby teams to their position. Something to think about.
Brewski and Insom, a squad that was in 4th round prior, now is in 3rd. And very, very close is that 3rd to 8th place. I mean, it's 27 points between those 5-6 teams. Yet it's a huge jump between the number 1 and number 2 seed. And Mouse and Cybate and Low 1, they are 30 points from each other, but 30 points from the rest of the lobby, the closest competitor in number 3. 24 teams remaining.
First place through 13th place, all still alive in this round. A lot of wiggle room here. A lot of kills still on the board. Overpowered. Running the Hunter. He's got his legendary blast shot online as well, so it's going to be very, very bursty. When he gets up close and can reliably land it, not the easiest thing to do. It's no fireball. Remember the days of that old fireball, that 1.0 fireball?
Oh, man.
That big boy.
Oh, baby.
That absolute unit of an ability.
I mean, that hit for, what, 900 on
900,
like a 3-second cooldown?
And it was massive. And it had like a 2-second cooldown.
Yeah,
Woo!
It was incredible.
Those were the days. The mage mains.
That's when everybody loved Realm Royale. It's just like, oh, this game's amazing. I wonder why.
Remember, I opened Twitter. I saw Cloaksy had tweeted, if you a mage main, I got no respect
Yeah, I got no respect for you.
And I'm like, what's happening? Look at the fireball changes. Oh.
Oh, I see. S-Rep kills Grego and Prince Danny, it looked like. So him and Bird getting a couple of kills. Not a lot of hope for them. They are pretty far out of it. But, you know, far out of top 8? I'm not sure how far, to be honest.
Who, Grego and Danny?
No, Bird and FPS Reps.
Oh, they are
far enough.
23rd.
Yeah, they are far enough. Unfortunately, it is quite a lot, to be honest. So, as most likely not going to be a hill they could climb. I'll shift, though. That kill on the Runna and stand-in, that's big. I mean, he doesn't find Runna. I mean, he doesn't find stand-in yet, I believe, but he does find Runna. And so if they can eliminate that duo, that is a duo that is ahead of them right now And that will do wonders for their case.
G-Dolphin looking for the rotation. 3 kills already for he and Mikey. Good firepower here for Game Hunter and 420 Brain. He's just going to hit the slow clap as they are happy with their positioning. They don't really want to move, and they don't have anything else to do.
And they've been hanging in there. You know, top 20, top 15. They've been around that area for most of the day. 22 teams remaining now. Minute before the fog starts to move in, but it's not moving too far for these players in Fungal Forest. It's right at the edge. It's really the players in the south side of things that are going to have to traverse most of the ground. And in the north, we'll go ahead and check in on what appears to be Valley.
Wow, 3 teams here.
JJD and Clow, man, he's made some statements, hasn't he? Clow inside, JJD outside and very low, and it looks like they had been retreating after their fight with Insom and Ruski.
Oh, they both just got absolutely deleted. Poor Clow, I mean, he's an engineer. He couldn't get out of the windows.
I mean, we caught that mid-fight for sure. There was already a ton of damage on both of them. Concussion bomb from long range, and Insom firing at the burst, and now Overpowered is making a move. Blast shot. It's going to do enough. Insom has to go away because he knows he's preserving this fight, but Overpowered is not going to let it happen. He's got the flare. This should be an easy kill. Overpowered shuts down Insom and Madruski. That's the 4th place, no, the 3rd place team.
Alternate died as well.
Oh, that change is big. That is big, Nick, because from 3rd place to 8th, starting this round, it was a 27-point difference. A lot of teams are going to potentially be moving ahead of Ruski and Insom now, because that's a positive 20-ish that they just took.
Oh my God, 9 kills for Kefri and Overpowered already here. Holy crap.
I just don't know if they can... Wait a second. No, Kefri and Overpowered might be able to do something.
They might be able to.
Because I think top 16 is where you would have to be in order to really make a move, and they are. And they're 74 points starting out this round. So when you look at it like that, what's 8th place? 8th place is 87 points. So they had a 74 score. So 8th place is a 41 score. So realistically, it's about 30 points that they're going to have to make up. But if they continue this...
You never
I mean,
know.
And Book of Ken, Mopork, Cookie Man, they stake some positive scores.
Yeah, and it depends how those players die.
Ruski and them just did. That's
They're
for
going to
sure.
need help. Their fate is not entirely up to them at this point. They're going to need someone to fall and fall fast and fall hard.
But they're playing it the right way. I mean, they're just absolutely not scared at all. I mean, this could be another 2, Nick. And it's this Hunter. We haven't seen this Hunter unleashed, you know what I mean? And Overpowered showing us the potential, the ways of Flux and Anonymous. They see all this fighting, but they do not want to be the first ones in, not by a long shot. They've got so much that they're fighting for. And it requires a pretty large kill game for them. 17 teams remaining. Nice. Finish on to Baggins. It's Overpowered and Kefri continuing to elevate their score. Now negative 22 as far as their eliminations are going to provide. Just depends on their placing. And look at a Flux. Oh, he's in trouble. Anonymous has to go.
Yeah, Kefri got to be careful now. Doesn't have his teammate. No one really has their teammate here. A Flux is in. He is full committed.
Oh!
Kefri gets the drop on him. Kefri hits back-to-back shots. And that's it. Overpower gets the last hit there. But I got to say, you got to comment on Kefri is very ice cold when he's taking fights. He's getting shot from the back, right? But he doesn't even move. His crosshair doesn't move.
Right.
He doesn't panic throw any abilities. He stays focused on his target, finishes it, cleans it up, and then immediately rotates back up the hill. That type of play is definitely super impressive to see. He doesn't have any pressure on him right now, granted, because they're pretty far out of it here. But I like to see this very clean, very aggressive play coming out from he and Overpowered.
I mean, you talk about the ability to make a big swing, and now the top 8 are getting paid. That's where I think a lot of the biggest swings are going to be prevalent because, you know, when you're 8th, you're not necessarily playing for first, so you could play a little bit more aggressive, but you want to stay in the money. But if you're 20th, you got absolutely nothing to lose. You're not in the money. You have to go big or go home. And when you do go big, like what they've done, like they're playing with just absolute no fear, right? And it's working. So now they're like, you know, okay, do we slow it down? I mean, we've got 11 elims. Do we go for 15? What do you do in this situation, knowing that you've still got to catch some people?
I mean, you got to go balls to the wall. It's the only way.
Do you wait till top 5 though, and then try to get all those last 4? Like,
no, because I think you need. Not only do they need to have the biggest game of the tournament, but they need everyone in front of them to have bad games. Now, you know, worry about what you can control.
Right.
I think
right.
you got to frag out as hard as possible.
Right.
If not, you don't get it. It's
Right.
whatever. You're already in 20th, whatever. Right? I like the way they're playing it.
Yeah, I like the way they're playing it too. 14 teams remaining. As we see a little bit of a picture-in-picture.
Holy crap.
What is Low One and Cybate, who are still alive, so that's going to do wonders for them, just securing first. I'm pretty sure it's going to be with Anonymous having 0 elims, guaranteed. Cybate and Low One coming in first here today, and that's going to be exciting for them, taking home $4,000 out of the 10K prize pool. But the questions now have started to arisen. How much damage can this incredible run from the new team, Overpowered and Kefri, actually do? I mean, Overpowered and Sony, they won the $25,000 each the first week of the Keemstar event. You know, Bird and Kefri have won 2 or 3 of the 10K tournaments themselves.
Like every 10K.
You know, these are winners. They know what to do in this last round, and this is a huge fight for them.
They got to get through the winners if they want. And this would, you know, not the worst finish for Low One and Cybate if it doesn't go their way. They've already got 3 kills. A 13th place.
I don't think they want to fight,
They're
though.
still pretty much wrapped up here. Cybate and Low One. They're taking the fight on their terms. A lot of poke goes out on the Low One here. Overpowered and Kefri.
What the?
Not sure which way they want to go, but they just completely delete Cybate. This could be good.
Oh, and Overpowered taking some shots. It's Cookie Man and Sony. And so they're going to know exactly who this is. It's Kefri finding the kills. Now, can Kefri make the big play? Cookie Man pressuring it out. And he finds a shot onto Sony. That's huge. Ice cold. You mentioned it, Nick. But Overpowered is down. Will the run come to an end? Still 11 teams remaining. Could it be all for naught? Negative 24, something like that. I mean, negative 28 on the table right now. Whoa! Oh my God!
And
Kefri gets the kill onto Sony. Mikey comes in from the backside with G Dolphin, and Kefri is still alive. Oh boy, it's still possible.
That is the 15th kill for Kefri and Overpowered. Blinking over the fence now. The smoke screen goes out. He's got the firepower. He's got the abilities. He's got what he needs to work with this. He finds another solo player here.
Headshot!
Hits every shot. Puts Yohelian down. He's got a last hit this though. He does get it. 16th kill in the bag for Kefri. Being pushed by another solo player. Trying to get the heal off. Thankfully, Cookie Man moves him for him. He's going to go for it. Kefri, 700 HP. He hits the snipe. He's got to go for the blink. Over the tree. As soon as he comes out of the ghost walk here, Cookie Man's under pressure from a lot of different angles. Kefri, though, he goes down. The pressure on the hill is too much. Looking for their 17th kill.
Okay, so it was negative 15 or negative 30-ish that they got, and they only took a positive 7. I mean, it's still a negative 23 score. They might make it into the top 8. It's going to be very close because still only Cookie Man, Sony, and Mopork and Ruski took those big L's, and they were quite a ways ahead. Alexi and Ada Gray still fighting on. Book of Ken, 820 Jet still alive as well. Those are the 7th and 8th place teams.
I mean, it's really G-Dolphin right now and Mikey just blazing this circle. Counterclockwise, they have killed 3 teams on their rampage. They've got incredible firepower loadouts at this stage of the game. There is 7 players remaining, only 4 teams. So that tells me that I think they're the only duo, Book of Ken and Jet, and Mikey and G-Dolphin. Everyone else is lone wolf in this.
I mean, the thing is, that, you know, they've got 13, so they've got a negative 26, but they could come in first. So, I mean,
wow, they have 13.
I mean, so what this is going to mean is they're the ones who could get the highest score here of the day. It was going to be Kefri and them, but because they took that positive 7, it really goes away. I mean, they were going to be in the negative 30s if they won the game. But now G-Dolphin and Mikey could do the same thing. They can do the exact same thing. 4 teams remaining, still 7 players, and they're looking like they're going to find one right here.
Hello.
This is Anonymous. He's trying to just savor this moment. He's flying in and out of the windows, but I don't know if he's going to make it through the wall there. It seems like Anonymous will be the next prey, although the ice block just delaying the inevitable. The burst rifle should secure it.
That is the 2nd place team now completely going down. 13th place going into this final round. Mikey and G-Dolphin, 14 wrapped up, 4 still on the board. There are 6 players left alive. There are 2 of them, so there are 4 kills left on the board they could pick up.
Oh, that would be huge. I mean, they could potentially get, I think, a negative 37 here. Or negative 34, I believe. 34,
if they slay out?
If they slay out, yeah. That would be the biggest round of the day. They were in 11th place to start this one out. They would definitely move into the money. I mean, they might move in with this big of a game. With Brewski and Insom taking that positive score, I mean, they might move into 4th, 3rd.
It's big.
I mean, it's going to be huge. FPS Reps and Bird on the high ground now. There is still one other team remaining, and it's below Mikey and G-Dolphin now. So the question is, who shoots first?
Well, they both have to move. And I think both these teams,
I
mean, it's only 18 seconds left. I think no one's shooting here. I think maybe some chip shots come out from G-Dolphin because FPS Reps and Bird have to move first. So they can just kind of chill out here, wait for the zone to push them out from behind that rock. Book of Ken and Jet are not involved in this fight, will not be involved in this fight. It's going to be not until next circle that they probably see any action. Some chip shots coming out here. Nothing really landing just yet. Mikey finds a couple of tags. Oh, fireball's no good.
Oh, and now they know where Book of Ken and Jet are. This is getting a little scary for them. The fog is moving in. 24 seconds. As this goes down, will G-Dolphin and Mikey in the last round
Reps is ripped.
Get the biggest score of the day. They cannot let FPS Reps. Yes, it goes to Dolphin and them. They're at 15 now. -30 in terms of eliminations, but they got to take the number one, Nick. They can't take any positive scoring here. He goes in with a burst, finds a couple of headshots there. Bird misses. They've got to get this one. It's 820 Jet, though they steal it. That was huge. That might have snuffed out Mikey and G-Dolphin from another placing, especially since 820 Jet is in 7th place right now.
This is coming down to the wire here. Money's on the line for these teams. Both of them will be placing. It's just a matter of how much.
Where? No sensor drones. Concussion bomb. But he misses the angle. Smoke screen, and he knows where he is.
Don't take any tags here if you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Just
why?
That's what opens the door here for Jet and Ken to push them. That's what opens the door. If they take some tags here, play this one hyper safe, they're going to get forced out of this house eventually.
And where are they going to go?
I don't know where the circle is because everyone is so tightly packed here. I don't know where we're headed next. Unless RNGesus has literally blessed Jet and Ken. I see them having to come out of this house.
I like Mikey holding the right side, Nick. And G-Dolphin holding this angle is smart, but it's not as aggressive, and it may not pay off as well because you're giving them the bushes to play around now. They can come outside, and they can hide behind those bushes, whereas they wouldn't have been able to. You were a little bit more exposed, and he's just going to emote. He's laughing. He knows they've had one hell of a round. I mean, if it stands this way, Nick, I think even with a positive 2, they still have pretty much the highest score of the day. Misses the concussion bomb. Hits the shot, though, with the sniper. And the wall is up and down for Book of Ken.
There it is. Completely deleted there. Jet goes down. One tapped by the gold slug.
It. They got it.
And ripping in Mikey and the boys. They come in with the best score of the day.
17 elims.
17 elims.
-34.
So
-33. Wow. What a game.
Hats off.
Mikey and G-Dolphin, we were talking about these guys too.
What a jump.
This was the game where we said, you know, this tournament, we looked at low 1 and side bait. We looked at Mikey and G-Dolphin and said, these guys came out of nowhere. Who are they? Now we know who they are. I mean, this is really just showing how consistency, how performance makes a difference. And you got to give it up to a Mouse and a Flux who find some elims at the end of the day. G-Dolphin and Mikey, they make it all the way into 7th. But that elimination that Book of Ken and 820 Jet got from them actually was the difference between 7th and 6th. It doesn't matter, but that was the difference in numbers. Would have been interesting if that was a lot more money on the line.
Man. 26, 30, 31, 33, 36, and 40 there. Just 14 points separating 3rd place from 8th place there. Shift and Slick just one out of the money today. Kefri and Overpowered out of the money today. A lot of big names starting to show back up. These tournaments are certainly heating up, and it is anyone's game.
Incredible stuff from everyone involved in today's event. It was 8 rounds, and you know what? To me, still felt very exciting, and I think felt, you know, very compelling towards the end. And who was going to take it all? I mean, because of side bait and low ones, just consistency throughout that first half of the game, and really, you know, you talk about the second half as well, staying relevant. That's all you can ask for, and they come away with the big prize.
Lead not changing hands too many times this one. They got it wrapped up pretty early there. I mean, they, you know, when you pull that 70, 80 point lead out in front, that's really incredible and unheard of to go back to back to back, setting the record for the day in all 3 games consecutively there. That's what's going to put you in that spot to get the first place.
Well, that was a great tournament, and if you guys want to keep involved with all the tournaments we're running, we actually have a tournament tomorrow, and you can check out the information on esports.realmroyale.com. While you're watching, you have your map stream, twitch.tv/Realm Royale map. I'm actually really curious to see who watches on that. I wonder what the viewer count is.
The viewership on the map
yeah,
stream.
Viewership on the map stream. And how can you improve your map stream here? You know, talking to him, he gets like a Twitch partner, and he's like, you know, having this conversation. Like, I feel like I'm not engaging the audience the way I can. You know, I need a brand, you know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Some funny potential conversations, but we have more tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned for us. I believe we'll be starting at 1 p.m., and it's going to be a solo tournament, Nick.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're playing around with a lot of different formats here. Tomorrow will be only 6 rounds. Today we did 8. Normally we do 10. We're trying to find that sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Trying to find that format, how we can bring you guys as much entertainment and as much diversity in a week as possible.
And still really, I mean, you know, I feel like I casted Realm Royale. I didn't feel like it changed too much for me. Personally, I'm a fan. I like it. And, you know, still some great games and some great competitors involved. We hope to see you for tomorrow's 1 p.m. Eastern Time start for the solo tournament. 6 rounds. We'll see you there. As always, friends, remember to never give up, never stop gaming. See you all in the Realm.